What is up, Kevin? You excited? We're live. Let's go.
Oh yeah, bro. It's been a while. I feel like I haven't talked to you in like a week. It's basically since our last stream.
I feel like that makes this content better because, we get to have like live engagements for these great fans, pal.
Oh yeah, we got CR21 in the building already. Yo yo yo, CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk.
Jeez, yeah, it's gonna be a fun show. It's gonna be a lot of AEW, a lot of CM Punk talk. There's gonna be some stuff at NXT, with Vince and Bruce taking over apparently, which is lovely. And
Bruce,
it's gonna be good fun, pal. Good fun, good fun.
Bruce. Well, where
That's
do you
it.
want to start, pal?
Now, I think a good way to start. You apparently watched AW Dynamite. Is this correct?
Yes, last Wednesday's Dynamite. I did catch the entire. I watched the entire show from cover to cover, as they say, pal.
Oh wow. Well, you can give the great Elite Heat listeners and supporters a real good rundown. You can talk about what you thought of the show. I'll give my opinions. Hopefully it'll be very positive because we're a positive podcast here at Elite Heat. So yeah, we'll see how that
Yes,
goes.
sir. Let me just look at the card. Let me pull that up real quick. That was it 25th?
Yes, sir. 25th, because yeah, Dynamite's tonight, pal. Wednesday, September 1st. You're excited for a big episode of AW Dynamite?
Oh yeah, oh yeah! I can't wait, pal. We're gonna get the next development in the CM Punk and Darby Allin feud, there, John.
Yes,
So
sir.
I
Another
can't wait for that.
Punk with Shivani interview probably there, John.
Oh yeah, can't
Can't
wait,
wait.
pal. So basically, what I thought of the show, I'll say this: it was good, average, typical AEW. I guess to paraphrase it, I'll put it this way: AEW, they're not gonna back down from their guns. They're gonna continue to put a card forward and they're gonna have like a fun card no matter what's going on. Like they're not gonna fluff anything up because CM Punk is there. For people that were expecting last week's Dynamite to be like the best Dynamite ever and have just stacked match after stacked match, it wasn't that. It was some good stuff, some good wrestling. I believe they kicked off the show with Matt Hardy versus Orange Cassidy, if I remember correctly, and then there were some good matches in between there. And then there was Punk, talking to Tony Schiavone as every new acquisition does in AEW. They have an in-ring interview with one Tony Schiavone. So it wasn't like the best episode of Dynamite. It was like for a lot of people that I saw, like basically just going through the Twitter timeline, a lot of people are like, yeah, I'm watching Punk and I'm watching Jericho's promo and then I'm going to turn the show off, basically, is like what I garnered from a lot of people. But that's what I would say in summary. I mean, what do you think? What do you have to say about that as far as the overall tone of last week's Dynamite?
Yeah, you got a point there. A lot of people, the general consensus with that show was, not disappointment, but like I did not see rave reviews. Even people who are like, especially on Twitter, the go-to like everything AW does is really good. Like those type of people, even their like feedback to this Dynamite was, I'd say mid. It was like the show, I guess, did what it needed to because Punk was on it. But as you just alluded to there, it was hardly like, oh my god, this is AW hitting a home run into like the next arena. Like it was, it was there. Yeah. Like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I'll talk about the opening match because I really want to talk about this in particular. Like, this is really like the biggest takeaway aside from Jericho and Punk. We'll get to Jericho in a second, but this match with Matt Hardy and Orange Cassidy, I'm watching this thinking, I'm thinking like in the mind of like a casual wrestling fan. I'm looking at this like, okay, if I wasn't an AEW fan, I've never watched an episode of AEW, and my first time ever being exposed to AEW was seeing that 5-minute clip of CM Punk making his return at Rampage on YouTube. That's the only thing I ever saw. And then I'm like, okay, I'll check out Dynamite next week. Again, never watched AEW. And the first thing I turn on for my first episode of Dynamite is seeing a 47-year-old Matt Hardy wrestling I don't even know, like a 31-year-old man with his hands in his pockets who
he's
looks like he's
36, pal. He's 36.
a 36-year-old man who's dressed like an eighth grader, with sunglasses on, his hands in his pockets, called Orange Cassidy. I'm probably not gonna watch the rest of the show. I'm just being honest. Now I'm not saying this to disparage AEW. I'm talking about the average, everyday, normal person. That like is gonna tune into this AEW show because they saw a 30-second clip on Instagram of Punk making his return. That's for me. That's not a good foot forward, bro. Like that, if there was 1 week to turn away from the typical formula of Dynamite, and that's let's have a 25-minute great work rate match to kick off the show. Last week was the week to do it. Why not kick off the show with Punk? Or why not kick off the show with Chris Jericho saying that he might retire if he loses to MJF? That's just me though. I'm curious to see what you think.
Well, pal, some things make too much sense, and I feel like that's one of them. It seems obvious that they do in this situation, probably Jericho opening and Punk main eventing, something like that. That just seems like common sense, and then you can hopefully sandwich a good show in between it. But yeah, I mean that sounds ridiculous. It's stuff like that, which I think some people, I guess, overstate Orange Cassidy's casual appeal, because he had one like YouTube clip hit like 31 million views. And then he's apparently over. He's so over, bro. With the high school kids, he's so over. Oh, okay, good to know. Good to know.
Oh yeah, like I had somebody tweet out. They were like, I don't know who it was. They were like, "Oh, I showed one of my best friends from college or high school, or whatever, this match of Orange Cassidy, and now they're an AEW fan for life. So that means Orange Cassidy's a draw." Okay, I guess. I've said this before, and I'll say it again now. When WWE purchases AEW in 6 years, and they make the rise and fall of AEW documentary, you're gonna have Ricochet, he's gonna be talking about how, oh, in a meeting, Vince and Bruce were freaking out about AEW after Jericho and Mike Tyson had this altercation. They were like, oh god, AEW is gonna be a big thing, pal. And then the next week, you get Orange Cassidy confronting a 49-year-old Chris Jericho, and Jericho dropping oranges on Cassidy. Like that's what's going to be remembered as like the pivotal down point, like the downward spiral for AEW is the Orange Cassidy Jericho feud.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, you said that for months, really. Ever since they really did that. I remember in our AEW bios, which if you haven't seen, go check out the Tony Khan bio and Chris Jericho bios, pal, on the Elite Heat channel. But really, when it comes to that, like that feud, because Jericho was like objectively like the guy in AEW. From the jump in 2019, he was the big name who you want to see what Jericho would do on each show. And then it rolls in. He rolls into 2020. Moxley gets the world title, and Jericho, he's supposed to feud with Mike Tyson, and then nothing really comes of that, and he just has a feud with Orange Cassidy, who at that point was a 36-year-old man. Now he's 37, who puts his hands in his pockets and I guess drinks orange juice or something. And now it's just this is the guy, pal. This is Orange Cassidy, pal. This is a mainstream attraction, pal. Damn it.
Yeah, he's one of AEW's mainstream attractions because he had like a top 3 selling T-shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees, and yeah, I mean that equals drawing power because obviously not any wrestler can become top 3 in Pro Wrestling Tees, but it doesn't draw like a casual sense. It doesn't draw just overall interest. Like I don't see a buzz when there's an Orange Cassidy match opening Dynamite. I don't see that buzz, but yeah, I was puzzled.
I think a good way to test it real quick is like because usually on Twitter, when you're live tweeting 3AW Dynamite shows, hardly any tweets really do that well. You'd know this. Like generally, when you live tweet during AEW, maybe like a big OMG type reaction to like a CM Punk segment or a Jericho segment might get some traction going. But for the most part, when it comes to AEW, for like an Orange Cassidy match, or I mean really for anything, like 6-man tag or just a women's match, what have you, unless you're tweeting like dramatic hot takes, which Twitter's going to freak out about, AEW shows, not much on there really generates much traction like during the show. Is that fair?
That is very fair. And that's the same thing with Raw nowadays too. I was live tweeting during Raw and I was like getting no interaction. I just like, bro, does anybody watch this show anymore? And it's the same thing with it's the same thing with AEW. It is what it is. Orange Cassidy, you could use that as a metric to see his interactions when you tweet about him, versus like when someone else is on the screen. And I just didn't see much of it. And I want to transition and talk about this too. Jericho saying that he's going to retire basically if he can't beat MJF at All Out. He said his AEW in-ring career is coming to an end.
Right.
What was your thoughts on this? Because we've seen this type of match, especially in WWE. We've seen it done to death. We saw Roman Reigns do it literally before SummerSlam.
2 weeks ago he did it. Yeah.
Yeah, like 16 hours before Dynamite. He's like, oh, if I can't beat you, Cena, it's over, Samoa. No, not Dynamite, SummerSlam.
Over Samoa.
And like, I just don't understand this. It adds an extra layer to the match that I guess you could argue, oh well, is Jericho actually gonna lose? Like, is Jericho actually gonna retire? Like, there's that layer there. But if Jericho retires, we already know he's gonna be a commentator, so we know he's not going anywhere, you know?
Yeah. Well, like this is probably going to spoil one our predictions for like later on, as well as my how AW should book a CM Punk video, which shout out to Structural, that turned out really well. The edits and the edits in process at the moment, but personally speaking, I think for All Out with MJF and Jericho, with that stipulation considered, I feel like they need to do a double turn with MJF and Jericho. I feel like at this point, MJF, how much more can you do with him as a heel? I feel like for the time being, you can flip the roles for a bit. Jericho gets so desperate. He doesn't want his career to end because of this BS stipulation, Kevin. So he just mercilessly just destroys MJF. He's like slashing MJF with a pizza cutter. Dominoes are getting pissed. You can do this whole thing. You make Jericho this, like, I guess, bad guy again, and then MJF becomes like a cool face almost, and Pinnacle becomes a cool face stable. I guess that's an idea. I know AW fans will hate that because I'm not Tony Khan booking it, but I think that's a shout. What do you think?
Yeah, that's an idea. I don't know how babyface MJF will work though. For me,
fans cheer him anyway because these AW fans just cheer anything. But
no, I get that. But for me, he strikes me as a guy that would be like Randy Orton. He would just come out there and just go through the motions, just be like, "Yeah, I'm here. Hey guys, I'm here in Boston."
Disagree. No, he's too much of a smart ass. He'd come out cutting like, fake shoot like babyface promos on these wrestling, like every wrestler in AEW, and fans would be like, "Yeah, he mentioned the Ring of Honor segment they did 5 years ago and made fun of it. Long-term storytelling. I love you, MJF." Like,
did you say shoot promos there, pal?
Bro, it's a shoot, bro.
I swear to God, bro, he shot on me, bro. All right, now let's steer this ship back in the right direction. So I'll go through the card real quick. I'll just tell you exactly what happened on Dynamite.
Yep.
So we had the demo god, Chris Jericho, discuss his future after Matt Hardy lost to a 37-year-old man with his hands in his pockets. That we followed up Jericho announcing this with AAW Dark special, Brian Pillman and Griff Garrison versus the Lucha Bros. And then we followed that up with Red Velvet versus Jamie Hayter. Yeah. And then after that, we had Punk make his first appearance. I guess we'll stop there. We'll talk about that. And what did you think about Punk's very first appearance on All Elite Wrestling Dynamite?
Well, Kevin, that's someone else's bit. You've got to be patient. Yes. I got added on Twitter by like 7 people being like, "You wanted Brian to retire." Kevin, I mean, did that really need that? I mean, AEW, they're the best, worst kept secrets. And I tweeted that, and like 2 people got genuinely bothered. And I'm just like, fam, it's like objective that they're horrible at keeping secrets because they're in bed with the dirt sheets for the most part when it comes to like this, or like the stuff you see on the wrestling show. But anyway, Kevin, to answer your question, I thought the segment was like decent to good. I thought your bit where CM Punk's like right in the camera, press yelling about Darby Allin. I thought that was like good. But I don't like the whole, they'll be interviewed by Shivani. Like, why is Shivani involved in all these like new AW wrestler, I guess, introductions in the first few weeks of them in the company? Why is there always interview with Shivani? Like, does Tony Khan look at his writing sheet as you've got Cody Rhodes and Nick Jackson sitting there, and Tony's like, what can we do with CM Punk in AEW in his first Dynamite episode? And you've got Nick Jackson like, I don't know, just interview with Shivani. Why not? Like, it's just, it comes off as just there,
lazy.
It's fine. It's,
It's lazy. Okay, can I say this about Punk real quick?
No, Kevin, you can't say this about Punk. Yeah, go on.
CM Punk is, I don't want to say he's exposing himself, but he's really showing like his true colors as a performer in a lot of respects. Like at the core, CM Punk is kind of like a lot of wrestling fans on the internet. He's a guy that wants to just see straight up wrestling, doesn't want to see sports entertainment, doesn't want a storyline. Like he cuts this promo with Tony Schiavone where basically he says, "Oh, I'm so happy the crowd of Chicago loved me. I'm glad you guys like the ice cream bars. I'm here to wrestle Darby Allin. Darby Allin's great. Jungle Boy is great. All right, guys, have a good night." Like that's the genesis of what Punk said. If you missed his promo last week,
Yeah.
there's just he's like I said, he's showing us what he truly is. He's just a wrestler at the end of the day. He's not really into the sports entertainment thing. He did it in WWE because he knew if he wanted the money and fame that he reached, he had to adapt and had to be a good promo and to be a fun entertainer. But at the core, he's just a guy that likes pro wrestling and likes to quote unquote use the pro wrestling style, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said this in my like reaction video to Punk's return. CM Punk is not a UFC fighter. He's not a comic book artist. He's not an actor. It's CM Punk. Phil Brooks is a pro wrestler. He's a professional wrestler.
He's not even a sports entertainer.
Yeah, I mean, his sports entertainment is just him going off the wall, cutting shoot promos, bringing up reality to just get over. That's Punk as a sports entertainer. So really, like Punk at his core is a pro wrestler. Am I really saying that? Now, granted, that said, I'm looking forward to the match at All Out to see Punk in action. I think that really sells itself. So in that sense, you don't really have to do so much. But nonetheless, I mean, it's just, yeah, Phil Brooks coming out at 43 going, when I was 15, as a punk rock 15-year-old in the streets of Chicago with hardly any money, I would have loved Darby Allin. He would have been my favorite wrestler. Let's have a great match in Chicago for these fans at All Out. Let's do it, Darby. Like, that's basically the build. And 100% people enjoy that. I think it's surfaceable as far as a storyline for his first match. But I mean, you could do so much better. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, it's you could do much better. I saw the Smart Busters talk about this on their live stream. I don't remember exactly what they said, but they said something along the lines of like, why not have Colt Cabana attack him and play off on the real life story between the two, the real life heat. That's how you would get 1.5, 1.6 million people to watch the show, in my opinion.
Well, Kevin, how would you do it? How would you do it? Because I mean, I've got ideas in mind, which will come out in the next couple of days in video form. But what would you do as the Elite Heat co-host himself? What would you do, pal?
I like the Colt Cabana idea, but I think that might be a little too inside baseball for people to really get behind it. I would like to see, like, I would have liked to seen. I get the way they did his debut on Dynamite. You don't want to have anyone attack him. I get that. You want to have Punk have his moment in the sun to shine. Okay, that's cool. I think on Dynamite last week they should have had maybe Sting come out there and just be like, "Hey, kid, you don't want to mess with Darby Allin," or something along those lines. That could be a Sports Center moment. CM Punk and Sting in the same ring. Like that's something that Sports Center and Bleacher Report and all these mainstream journalism entities can cover. You can't cover CM Punk just being like, "Hey, yeah, when I was a punk rock kid, I wanted to be a pro wrestler, and now I am a pro wrestler." You get Sting out there, you have him point the bat at Punk. Maybe Punk hits him with the GTS. That would be a big moment. I understand you want to save the GTS for the pay-per-view. So maybe not that, but you just have a confrontation between the two. That I think that would have been really cool. Like, why not use Sting? Like, what is aside from like Sting having a couple of matches? What is he doing? He's just hanging out in the rafters. I think it would have been cool. That's the way I would have done it. At least just have Sting get in his face.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm trying to think from like a booking standpoint. Where's the heat there? Like it's it's Sting at 62. And then you have Phil Brooks just coming back. Like, where's the heat? Like, for me, what I would have done, I mean, I'm literally just spoiling the video with the shock. I don't even care. Basically, you have Punk come out. You keep the segment fairly similar for like that first dance, Rampage in Chicago return. Keep most of that the same. But in the promo, instead of Punk talking at Darby Allin, Punk goes a bit of his like, obnoxious kind of arrogant like self, being like, well, I guess now I'm the biggest star in this promotion, huh? This is going to do numbers, eh? And then, Punk goes, why don't I get a world title match in Chicago at All Out? The fans would like that, wouldn't they? And the crowd is like thunderous and they're deafening. And then that leads to, I guess, Omega versus Punk at All Out, where Punk's talking, he's kind of like fake shoot promos, being like, for 6 years I've been told you're like the best guy just in the wrestling business at pro wrestling. I don't buy it. I don't see it. You're the top guy. Apparently, I'm going to beat you for the title. It's going to be one of the best AEW moments ever in Chicago. There's nothing you can do about it. And then I have Punk win the title in Chicago. You got to capitalize off the heat now. Because if you're going to keep doing this, Kevin, with Punk interviewed by Shivani, Punk says Jungle Boy is a great in-ring technician and wants to have a good match at Fyter Fest. Like, the hype's going to die real quick, so you got to capitalize off it ASAP. That's what I think.
Oh yeah, I mean, no, that makes sense what you're saying. I was just going off a standpoint of just going off what we're getting, like how I would tweak what we're actually getting on TV to make it a little bit better. Because like you said, there's no heat between Punk and Sting. It's mainly just about the moment of those two guys just staring at each other. Like you don't really need heat. It's two legends in wrestling, and it would be cool regardless. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Punk and Omega, that seems like the right way to go, but that's not the AEW way. But we thought we were going to see Christian versus Omega.
Look at that. Sorry. So then, because like we've seen Omega and Christian last week, you know, and like I get people going to hype it up like, oh, this one's for the AEW World Championship. But it's like we saw the match a week ago for like a world title, you know. So like I think when it comes to that one, Punk, like I've heard some people with the Punk Omega idea. Well, who's supposed to be the face? Who's supposed to be the heel? It's like Punk would be acting the heel because it's in Chicago for the first like month. He's going to be cheered like he's Jesus. And Omega will be booed. But in the long run, when Punk's the champion, he's sitting in the ring, championship over his shoulder, cutting promos about how ultimately he doesn't really care about the fans. Like, this is, give it a month when they're in Baltimore or New York. They're not in Chicago. And Punk's like dissing the fans in promos, title over his shoulder, saying, hey, I'm here, I'm the champion. I'm doing the best ratings in this promotion now. What can you do about it? Then you can have like John Moxley come out and have a feud with him, or you can have Eddie Kingston, or then you can do Darby. Like, I think capitalize on the hype now with that, or else you're going to lose the hype altogether having him do interviews with Tony Schiavone. And like, I don't know. That's just me. I feel free to disagree. I completely understand, but that's just me.
Well, we got All Out on Saturday. That's really going to be the testament of everything. Like, that's the end all be all of what Punk's run in AEW is going to be. It just all depends how he looks in the ring versus Darby Allin. Can he hang? Is he going to be able to have a good match? Are people going to care? Like, I mean, a lot of people will pretend to care, but even if the match sucks, like if they go out there and Darby and Punk have an absolute stinker of a match, there'll be a portion of the audience that will defend it. They'll be like, oh, Punk, he hasn't wrestled in 7 years. He had ring rust. But at the end of the day, it's all about what he does in the ring on Sunday at All Out, for me at least. Then we'll go from there with as far as the hype train goes, because we don't really know what to expect. Like, he's already getting a big star treatment. He'll probably main event that show, as he should. And then we'll see what they do with it after that.
Well, is he main eventing? Because I've seen some people say that I guess Christian and Omega should main event. I'm like, okay, interesting. You wouldn't have Punk in his first match of 7.5 years main event. Interesting. What are your thoughts on that?
No, Punk should main event. Because once Punk comes out, nobody's going to care about what follows it if he's not the main event. You're going to end up in like a Rock Hogan type scenario, Shawn Undertaker scenario, where nobody's going to care. Like, people are going to be walking out after they see Punk.
Well, I've seen people say, oh, Punk and Darby should open. I'm like, I get it. Crowd will be hot. Crowd will be excited. But like, I look at AW, like the first dance on Rampage, where CM Punk came out. And this is just me. Like, this is me as the, I guess you could say, casual kind of just, you know, dabbles in AW type fan. I watched the Punk segment and I just pretty much turned the show off. I didn't care. Like, I didn't care to watch whatever they had for the rest of the show. And maybe that's me missing out on some great AW dark-like action. But at the end of the day, it's like, Punk is what you want to see on this show. Granted, there's other good stuff in this show, which a lot of AW fans are genuinely excited for, and we'll go over that in a moment, Kevin. But generally speaking, Punk's first match in 7.5 years is the attraction, the talking point. So if you open the show with that, you open the show with that, the crowd's excited. Give it 3 hours when you're doing Omega and Christian in a rematch from 2 weeks ago in the main event. It's like, oh, this is it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There literally will be people walking out if they do that. Like, you're going to burn the crowd out, especially if you have them open. That you're not going to be able to pick to, like, get that energy back, you know? Instead, open the show with, like, I don't know, have Moxley and Kojima open, or Pac versus Andrade. You can have Ric Flair. Like, Ric Flair could be the big reveal to open the show. That'll get the crowd hot. Yeah. As Andrade's manager. That would be cool. That would be a good way to open the show. You open the show with Punk. and then you could do anything. You could bring John Cena back, or not bring John Cena back. You could have John Cena debut in AEW and attack Christian after he beats Kenny Omega for the AEW title, and nobody will care.
Well, Kevin, I guess what they'd have to do if they're opening with Punk, I can see going like this. They open the show with Punk, and they get that like really big time emotional moment. Punk's first match, they open it, and that goes however long. And like if they open with Punk, the show ends with Daniel Bryan confronting Kenny Omega. At this point, that's how I'm viewing it. Because there's no way if you open with Punk, no way you can end the show with Kenny Omega just beating Christian Cage, a 47-year-old man just standing there with the Elite holding the AEW World title. No way they end all out like that. They're going to have probably, if they main event with Christian and Omega, Omega wins a really good in-ring match, and Omega's standing there, and then you hear like the final countdown hit, and the people in Chicago are like crying again, like something like that. Probably, do you think?
Yeah, I guess that makes pretty good sense. I don't know. There's so many ways to book it. There's so many different opinions. It's such a subjective conversation. I don't see that would be a waste to have him open, in my opinion, have him open the show. But it's at the end of the day, it's not a crucial like component because there are like a lot of people that will care still of the rest of the show. But there's a few people that are going to be there. It's like a 15,000 seat arena. I would say at least like 3,000 to 4,000 of those people are literally just going to see Punk. I think that's pretty fair, right?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part. I mean, yeah, Tyler Williams and Chad alluding to a narrow mindset to have that. I mean, yeah, it's like you say that, but I mean, being genuinely really excited for like the big talking point and not being anywhere near as excited for anything else. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast, really. Like, that's just, Simon is interested in saying Park versus El Idolo and Moxley versus, I need to get the name so I mispronounce it, Satoshi Kojima. Like, it's, like obviously people will be excited for that, but for myself and a lot of people, it's going to be the Punk match is the thing you want to see. Is Punk going to perform well? Is there going to be obvious ring rust? Is he going to not miss a beat? Is he going to be the same CM Punk who would walk out nonchalantly for WrestleMania 29 against The Undertaker, not really wanting to be there and put on a 5-star classic versus one of the GOATs of wrestling history? Like, what are we going to see from Phil Brooks? That's the interesting part of the whole thing. That's what captivates me about this show, because I look at this all-out card, Omega Christian, we've seen it, Young Bucks, Lucha Bros, as fun and as insane as those matches are, we've seen that. Paul White, QT Marshall, meh. You've got Moxley and Kojima, that'll be fun, but, Miro and Eddie Kingston, that'll be good. Britt Baker and Statlander, okay, but this Punk match is the match. This is Phil Brooks, pal. Damn it, pal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let me address the narrow mindset comment that you brought up too. The only thing that I would add to that is like when you watch Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley, the pay-per-view fight, you're not buying that fight. You're not paying $60 to watch the women that co-main evented. I forgot their names. You're not buying the fight to watch that. You're buying a fight to watch Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. And people are buying this pay-per-view that have never bought an AEW pay-per-view to see CM Punk versus Darby Allin. It wouldn't make any sense to have it be anything but the main event. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's an interesting talking point. Yeah, that's the thing, Tyler. It's like, it's worth a discussion. It really just comes down to your overall investment in the AEW product, general storylines. For myself and a lot of people, it's just like, Punk is hype, and the rest of the show, it's like, on paper, it's a good card. It's not going to be a bad show. I don't think anyone can misconstrue us and say we're trying to say that, but just as far as interest, I feel that's the case because, I mean, I made the analogy on Twitter to this is like this is like Mayweather McGregor and everything else is, just kind of like nothing on the card. Now, granted, not the fairest of analogies. Punk and Darby Allin is hardly like Mayweather McGregor. Everything else is just a bunch of bums. But you kind of get the point. One has a heap of hype, and the rest of it has like a serviceable to mid hype.
Yeah, exactly.
Facts, bro. Facts. So I guess with that said, I mean, do you want to get into some sort of a preview if we haven't really done that already for AEW All Out Mago?
yeah. Let me just say something else too, real quick before we go on. So the rest of Dynamite was what? It was a 6-man tag. We had Kingston, Moxley, and Darby Allin. They were facing like Dolph Ziggler's brother, JD Drake. The main event, Malachi Black versus Brock Anderson, Arn Anderson's son. What did you think about Dynamite headlining a show with Malachi Black versus Arn Anderson's son?
Well, it depends on perspective. I mean, obviously, you can view that as well. They're giving Malachi Black spotlight. They're putting attention to Malachi. They're really trying to get him over. I say it. But in reality, when you like bluntly describe it, it's like this is Aleister Black and WWE kicking Arn Anderson's son in the head in the main event of a show everyone's watching to see CM Punk. And there was supposedly, as people on Twitter were saying, there are going to be 1.5 to 1.8 million people watching this Dynamite, and the rating ended up being 1.1. So, yeah. What do you think, pal? Give us your objective thoughts, objective opinion, pal.
I thought 1,000,000% that Cody was going to return. Cody was going to make his triumphant return. He was going to be crying with his baby mama and his baby by his side, and he was going to put a stop to the evil Malachi Black. But we didn't get that, sadly. I was disappointed. I was looking to see Cody Rhodes. I wanted to see his ascent on the roads to the top, pal.
Oh, God almighty.
Also, I was very disappointed.
Real quick in chat, real quick in chat. Who here is hyped for Roads to the Top? Okay, that is going to be must-see mainstream reality TV. But yeah, Kevin, continue.
Yeah, that is going to draw 1 million viewers, pal. Millions of viewers. Yeah, so you have a show headlined by Malachi Black versus Brock Anderson. I don't even know, bro. I was in disbelief. I mean, it is what it is. The AEW, they're gonna do what they do. I don't know. That me personally, if I had the pencil, I would have fought for something different to main event. But that's just me.
Well, Kevin, what is your honest opinion with that? Because so you're watching Dynamite. You're someone who dabbles with AEW here and there. You don't watch every show and every dark episode and know every wrestler's record off by heart or anything. But you're watching Dynamite. You're watching this show for the Punk promo, the Jericho promo. What's that like? Like it rolls around to main event time. Malachi comes out for a match with Brock Anderson. Like, what are you honestly thinking at that stage of the night? Like,
yeah, I'm just thinking this is going to be Cody's return, and if Cody doesn't return, then I don't understand why this is main eventing. I don't see how you could justify it. If you're whoever booked this, if you're Cody or if you're Kenny Omega or the Young Bucks, how do you justify going to Tony Khan and be like, yeah, we're going to headline the show with a guy that we brought in from WWE who's he's not a needle mover like a Punk or even a Daniel Bryan. He's on a much lesser scale versus Arn Anderson's son that nobody's ever heard of. I don't see how that pitch gets through. I don't know. I was watching it just eerily disappointed because it's not the quality that we come to expect from AEW in most weeks,
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, if you're main eventing with Malachi, what they did at the Homecoming show, where it was Malachi and Cody, and then they do like the big kind of ending where Cody retires, or does he? And they do that whole kind of bit. That's definitely a main event, like obviously. This one is just kind of like, oh yeah, well, we'll put him out there, give him a main event slot. So I guess in some people's minds who tune in and see Punk, that could put over Malachi as more of a star, which is good. If it had that effect on people, that's awesome. It has desired reaction. Clearly for like yourself, it didn't really have that effect. It was more so just like, when's Cody coming out? Oh, Cody didn't really do anything. Oh, well, that's it. Oh, okay, Dynamite's over.
Yeah, basically that's exactly where I was. And yeah, it is what it is. Whatever. I mean, we've already said 1 million times that they could have done something different with Punk, but AEW, they're going to stick to their guns and they're going to stick with their booking formula, and it is what it is, right? So I guess we're ready to get to the AEW All Out preview, Michael.
I mean, where do you want to start this off? I think we'll probably do something where, I mean, I don't want to just go from the pre-show and go like through the card. I think we can do it's a bit more creative. I guess we can just start with a match that you're excited for, Kevin. We got Matt and Nick Jackson from Rancho Cucamonga defending the AEW World Tag Team Championships in a steel cage match against the Lucha Bros. Kevin, walk us through your investment in this match. Take the Elite Heat listeners through your honest thoughts, your brutally honest opinion, analysis, and just your thoughts on this match, pal. Take us through it.
First of all, they are from Rancho Cucamonga, the Young Bucks. Now, with that being said, you have Matt and Nick Jackson versus the Lucha Bros. it's like deja vu. I feel like we've seen this match before. This time they're doing it in a steel cage. We've got they had this match at what was it, Double or Nothing 2019, the first ever AEW pay-per-view, and then All Out 2019. And they were both good matches. Great matches, if you will. This one is going to be no different. I'm actually looking forward to this match. Like, this is one of the matches on the card that you could like put this as a main event. This realistically could main event the show. And I don't think people would be mad at it. Honestly, like I wouldn't be, trying to break my TV, cursing out Tony Khan on TV. I think it would be good. It's gonna be a good match. Hopefully the Lucha Bros win. Can I say that? I just want to hopefully, bro. Just anything. Please end the Young Bucks reign. End it. Good God, make it stop. They've had a year. Has it been a year since they won the tag team titles?
Good question.
I think it has. I'm pretty sure they won them All Out last year.
Well, let's just double confirm this one real quick because I know this one's going to cause people to freak out if they aren't right. But no, they won them at Full Gear from memory because All Out that was the one where FTR won them off of Omega and Page, and Omega, it was supposed to be the big turn. All he did was just walk to his car, and that was it.
Yes, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so they won at Full Gear. So nearly a year-long title reign for the Bucks of Youth from Rancho Cucamonga.
From Rancho Cucamonga, Michael.
But yeah, this match is going to be off the chain. Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros. They have just really great chemistry. If anybody out there is going to complain, say it's a spot fest and this is going to be a garbage match, it's just not for you. This is there's not gonna be a lot of psychology, but this is the kind of tag team wrestling that those same people that are complaining this is a spot fest, those same people are the ones that loved watching Edge and Christian and the Hardy Bros do it. So, I mean, it is what it is. What do you think about this match?
The match is gonna be insane. Like these guys, as far as that, I guess I won't call it the spot fest style, but you get what I mean. Like as far as that type of tag team match and tag team wrestling. These guys are just the masters of executing a really good 20 to 25 minute version of it. This match will be no different. The steel cage, I see people like Ishan in chat saying they'll find a way to do a Canadian destroyer off a cage. I mean, fair play. If you can do that without literally killing someone, I mean, fair play to you. That'll be pretty cool. But just generally, it's going to be a fun match. I think this match, where this is placed on the card, will be interesting. And it'll really show what AEW is intending, because this can be placed, really one of three places. You can open with this. And I guess if you open with this, you probably should main event with Punk and Darby. Or you can chuck this in the middle of the card to keep the show bubbling away. Because if you open with Punk, what's going to be in the middle to keep the show chugging along? This would be a really good match. Or you could legitimately main event with this. I don't think it'd be too bad of a decision if they main evented with this. Just a 25-minute OMG. Ray Phoenix just did a 720-degree moonsault plancha honcho flip from the cage and landed on Nick Jackson, who's from Rancho Cucamonga, through a table. That whole kind of match and that whole kind of just general bit, I think would be entertaining. So, Kevin, to answer your very good question there, I think, I'm looking forward to this match. I believe my narrow-minded mindset coming into the show that I'm only looking forward to Punk. I think that's cap. I'm looking forward to this match and seeing the Lucha Bros defeat the Young Bucks from Rancho Cucamonga.
Yeah, that's definitely cap. That saying that we're narrow-minded, that's cap. This is going to be a match that when Tranquilo Club makes his All Out 2021 review, he's going to be raving about this match, bro.
You went with that for the new bit for this video? Really?
What?
Is that your equivalent to the wrestling gifts and his girlfriend SummerSlam bit?
Yes,
when Tranquilo Club makes his essay on this show, this will be praised, bro. Ridiculous.
Bro, Tranquilo Club's gonna be in his house writing down every single move that took place in this match so we can talk about it, bro.
I will say though, shout out to Tranquilo Club. I think his channel's awesome. I love what he's got going on over there. Mad props. If you only watch his stuff, it's worth a look. Just want to say that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Are we going to continue with the rest of the show? What's your prediction, pal? Do you think the Lucha Bros will win, or do you think Matt and Nick from Rancho Cucamonga will still win?
I think the Lucha Bros are gonna take it. It's about time. It's what 2 years in the making that the Lucha Bros become tag team champions. Like in my opinion, they should have been the first AEW tag team champions. So it's only right here if they get the belts this time around. They'll be great babyface champions. People love them. The Chicago crowd is going to be just all over them with cheers, and it's going to be a good sight to see when they're holding the belts and Penta's doing the whole Zero Miedo stick and everybody's cheering along with him. It's going to be a good sight to see.
Yeah, I think it'll be a pretty cool moment for sure. Definitely, I think opening the show, this is probably the best way to go, personally. And yeah, it should be really fun. So, Kevin, unless there's anything else more you want to say about that, I think we're ready to move on to the next match there, John.
Yes, we need to address something else, too, before we move on to the next matches. We need to address the fact that America's favorite wrestler, America's superhero, the American Nightmare, the man that is fighting for the ending of racism, Cody Rhodes, is not on this show. I think that needs to be addressed, don't you think?
Kevin, this is the same guy who last pay-per-view, he was sending race relations forward 50 years as he ended racial conflict between, God knows what, I'm not even going to try and describe the conflict because I'll probably get cancelled, but Cody Rhodes, Kevin, last show, took down a Go-Go pal. He punched Anthony Ogogo, pinned him, and Ogogo's barely been seen since, pal. That is our American hero, Cody Rhodes, okay? This guy, he's not on All Out, pal. What are we going to do, Kevin? How are we going to cope? I don't know.
I don't either. I'm lost. I feel lost without our Lord and Savior, Cody Rhodes. I mean, the guy, he ended systemic racism. He gave us a history lesson. And he took out the evil immigrant, Anthony Ogogo, and prevented him from living the American dream. Anthony Ogogo is not going to make money off the name of Cody Rhodes, pal. That's not how we do things around here. He's going to change the way Atlanta is susceptible socially. He's changing the environment over there in Georgia and Jacksonville. What are we going to do without Cody Rhodes? What? I don't know. I don't know, pal. Like, I thought Cody Rhodes versus Malachi Black was a shoo-in to be it All Out. I thought that was going to happen. Maybe it'll be announced tonight on Dynamite. Maybe Cody will be out there to get comeuppance for his friend's son that just got abused by Malachi Black. He'll be crying with Arn Anderson, hugging him, consoling him, as he just vows to take down the evil Malachi Black.
God almighty. Yeah, Kevin, I can't wait. Yeah, not to steer this back to like All Out, not All Out, Double or Nothing 2020. I mean, that a Go-Go and Cody match was just wow. I mean, no one buried anyone, but the whole storyline was hilarious. It came off over the top. And AEW, as a promotion, to compare it to a Shakespearean play, AEW is a promotion. You've got Cody at the front attempting some long-winded Shakespearean monologue where he's like crying and so over the top, over emotional. And behind him is just a bunch of just fighting and spots for no reason. Like, Cody doesn't really click with AEW that much in that sense. And that was just proof of it. You got Cody literally crying about race relations in Georgia and how Anthony Ogogo is horrible for trying to come to AEW and get a job. Even though Cody probably like employed Ogogo, it didn't make sense. But anyway, Kevin, let's move on to the next match, pal.
No, wait, don't forget that Cody Rhodes is the first human being to have a half black, half white baby. He's the first to ever do it, pal. Don't forget that.
Kevin, I can't wait for the build to Full Gear when you've got Ethan Page coming out there calling Cody's newborn baby ugly. And Cody's like crying. Cody's like, he's like, don't you ever talk about my son. You're like, Cody Rhodes, sit down, shoot interviews to Tony Schiavone where Cody's sitting in his living room being like, you do not disrespect the Runnels name like that. Ethan Page, Full Gear on the buy-in. You're finished. You're done. We're going to have a 25-minute overworked, over spot fest match, okay, for these fans.
Oh, jeez. All right, pal. God. All right, where do we go from here? I guess let's talk about Pac versus Andrade El Idolo with his new manager, Chavo Guerrero Jr. in his corner. So this is Ric Flair's debut, right, in AEW? Ric Flair's going to come out and just be like, I rode up and down in Chicago. I had strippers at this club. This is where I fathered Charlotte Flair over here. And then, we're going to get Ric Flair making his triumphant debut in AEW, pal.
Yeah, if this was WWE, I mean, here's how they like AEW's booking. They're a bit like it's a bit more like it's unpredictable. If this is WWE, you have a 12-minute good match with Pac and El Idolo here, and then the ending is just Ric Flair's music hitting. Pac gets distracted, and then El Idolo hits his finisher and beats him. This is WWE. That's how they book it. As far as AEW, I don't really know what they'll do. They can do a number of different things with this match. As far as Pac and Andrade El Idolo, which kind of say that's one of the best names to say just in the whole promotion. But yeah, generally speaking, should be a really good match. Everyone on their YouTube slideshow reviews will probably give this like 4 stars. I can see it now, probably a 13-minute really good match. Probably about second or third on the card. You can see it now. Park and El Idolo there, Kevin. Like, I mean, give us your brutally honest thoughts on this match. Walk us through who you see winning this great in-ring match, pal.
Yeah, I mean, JB Band says that this match would probably be the best in-ring match of the show, and you're probably right. Andrade El Idolo is a guy that people are saying is a better in-ring wrestler than Eddie Guerrero. So that shows what some people, the minority on Twitter, think about the guy. And Pac is, whether you like him or not, Pac really is one of the best performers in the world right now. We haven't really seen him consistently doing it since the pandemic. But pre-pandemic, he was putting on banger after banger with Kenny Omega on Dynamite and on pay-per-view and everything in between, on YouTube exclusive shows, social media exclusive clips. They're just putting on bangers, pal. And this will be a banger match, for lack of a better term. That's what I think. And we have Chavo Guerrero there. I don't really know what Chavo Guerrero's role is. I don't know why he's here. He's just going to talk because Andrade can't speak English, but Chavo Guerrero can't speak Spanish. So it doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't know what the dynamic is with that, but yeah, I guess we'll have probably what they'll do is Pac will make his entrance. He'll be looking mean and polarizing, and then Andrade will make his entrance, and then Andrade will be like, "I have a surprise for you." Then Ric Flair will make his entrance. Everybody will be going crazy. Ric Flair will be wooing and styling and profiling, and that's gonna power Andrade El Idolo to victory. I don't see Pac getting the win for this, even though the result is probably meaningless in the grand scheme of things. But Andrade will probably get the win.
Yeah, I was interested to see how long they make this match go. Like, this is one of those matches which, I mean, there's no title on the line. It's just like a good general undercard match. Usually at these AW pay-per-views, a match like this one will go like 14 to 18 minutes when it really needs to go 10 to 12. This is that kind of match which will go like 18 minutes, which people love, the in-ring side of AEW and just love watching anything AEW will love this 100%. I just worry they'll just drag this out too long because, the longer the match goes, the more stars will get in the Meltzer system. So, yeah, I mean, that's just my only kind of worry about this match. But, I mean, it's pretty obvious that Andrade will get the win. As our good pal in the chat says, where is it? JB Bands. Andrade will win, then him and Lucha Bros will be a trio. I can say it. Andrade with the Lucha Bros makes more sense than Pac. So, yeah, I think that's a definite way of going about it. You can have Andrade potentially gunning for the TNT title after this show, and you've got the Lucha Bros with the tag titles. They can try and get a little stable out of that. I think it's definitely an option, pal. Definitely an option.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you put the three of them together, let them speak Spanish. Put subtitles out there. Let them be in their natural element. That's what attracts the English wrestlers to New Japan. It's cool. It's different. Whatever. Right? If you try to make it someone like everybody else, it doesn't work. Make them stand out. Enough of that little tangent. The next match that I think I know you're looking forward to. I know every single one of the 18 people watching right now.
Oh, no, I think I know where you're going with this. Oh, no, go on.
Everybody, if you're looking forward to this match after I say it, let me know. Just put a W in the chat. Find a way to let me know that you're looking forward to this match because I know I am. I'm super excited for this match. We have a 49-year-old Paul White versus my physical therapist cousin, QT Marshall, with Aaron Solo and Nick Camarato in his corner on the undercard of AEW All Out 2021. That's right. The big show is making its debut, Maggle.
You want me to give analysis on that? Like, what do you want me to do with that, pal?
I just had to announce it. Can you hear
me? Bro, you've got Paul White. 25 years ago, he was punching Hulk Hogan in the main event of Nitro, which was slapping Raw in ratings, bro. Now look at this. Okay, he's going to be wrestling like third on the card versus your physical therapist's cousin, bro, in a really just piss break match, bro. Okay. Ridiculous, bro. QT Marshall versus Paul White. Who is this for, bro? This isn't for the AEW hardcores love wrestling, bro. It's definitely not for us who barely watch AEW. Bro, what are they going for here, bro? Who is the target demographic, bro? Terrible.
Bro,
Ridiculous,
die-hard
bro.
AEW fans don't even like QT Marshall, bro.
Bro, QT Marshall does not play basketball, bro. Okay, QT Marshall is terrible, bro. Terrible. God.
You got a 49-year-old legendary Hall of Fame professional wrestler with nothing to prove, acting like he has something to prove. He's gonna go out there. His theme song is gonna play. He's gonna do his pose, his where he lifts his giant hand up and he screams. He's gonna choke slam my physical therapist cousin. He's gonna pin him 1, 2, 3, and then he's gonna walk out the ring. What's going to happen? Is Mark Henry going to get out of his commentary seat because he doesn't like because Paul White's going to jump Aaron Solo and Nick Camarado after the bell? We have Paul White gently punching Aaron Solo, and then Mark Henry's going to jump out of his commentary seat with his AEW CM Punk ice cream bar, and he's going to march down to the ring and point his finger at a 49-year-old Paul White and be like, I'm coming for you. Like when Stone Cold Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, and Mick Foley marched their way down to the ring to beat up the New Day. And to beat up Sheamus and Wade Barrett? Is that what we're going to see here? We're going to get Mark Henry versus Big Show. And then watch, if we get Mark Henry versus Big Show in AEW, all the AEW fans are going to be like, oh my God, they still got it. Match of the year. And those were the same people that if they would have got this match on Raw, they would be like, oh, this sucks. WWE doesn't build stars. Nobody wants to see Big Show versus Mark Henry. But if Tony Khan writes Mark Henry versus Big Show on a piece of paper for a match on Dynamite, they'll love it just because Tony Khan wrote it on a piece of paper.
God, I can picture this now. You have like Paul White punches QT Marshall, and then after the match, Mark Henry, as you say, gets off the announce desk, walks down to the ring. I'm getting like douche chills back when I was starting to watch wrestling in 2011, and the World Heavyweight Championship feud for 4 months was Mark Henry and Big Show, with babyface Big Show crying because his ankle would get broken every pay-per-view. And then you have Mark Henry. Imagine it all out. Mark Henry gets in the ring. You have 15,000 screaming Chicagoans, all of which own CM Punk plushies and 7 Best in the World t-shirts. They're watching this, having no clue how to react. You've got a 2011 flashback with Mark Henry getting into the ring, confronting a 49-year-old Paul White. Imagine Mark Henry just points at the sign for Full Gear, and then the match is made, okay? Henry, White, Full Gear, pal, ratings. Take my money, Tony. Take my money. Oh, yeah.
God. I mean, yeah, the Jimmy Band says, what if they do Paul White versus Shaq? For me, the ship has sailed. I wanted to see that match when I was in Orlando for WrestleMania 33. I was looking forward to seeing it, but then Shaq backed out, so now I don't want to see it anymore, pal. I'm done. The ship has sailed for me in watching that match. I don't want to see a 49-year-old Paul White wrestle, period. I don't care who is he. I don't care if he's wrestling Pac in a work rate classic where Big Show's doing like 450 planches over the top rope, and he lands and separates his shoulder on impact. I don't care.
Oh my God.
I don't care what we see at this point. I don't care if Paul White wrestles Kenny Omega in the main event of AEW Dark Revolution New Year's Eve edition. I don't give a damn what Paul White is doing at this point.
Imagine, they do that, and like AEW's YouTube channel titles it A Stacked Night of Action featuring Paul White, 750-degree plancha moonsault onto Mark Henry. Like, you got Paul White, you got like Big Show thinking he's like Keith Lee, hitting like Spanish flies and landing on his neck and like nearly dying in the ring on AEW pay-per-view. And then like you've got like Paul White taking off in the gurney, and then Tony Khan's like, oh damn, get out there, you need to finish the match. And then Paul White just jump off scaffolding and nearly break his spine for these fans. Because AEW is not reckless with their decisions. The AEW doctor is trained. Okay, CM Punk roasted the WWE doctor. The WWE doctor wanted him to wrestle a European tour with staph infections. The AEW doctor knows what's up. That's why when Matt Hardy hits his head on cement floor from 20 foot high, when Matt Hardy nearly kills himself on pay-per-view, Rush him back out there. He's definitely not concussed. Have him have a really good match with Sammy Guevara. But Matt Hardy doesn't know where he is, and he's lost millions of brain cells from smashing his head on the cement floor and experiencing CTE live on pay-per-view. That's fine. But when Big Show comes out there for his AEW Dark Elevation Rampage night before New Year's Eve special match against Mark Henry and nearly dies of the Spanish Fly, that's okay, pal. Because the AEW Doctor's trained, damn it. Damn it, pal.
Oh my god. Jeez. Our favorite Destructor. Yo, Destructor. He asked us, what if the Maz shows up on AEW and faces Pac? I'd jump out of a building. I would never watch another AEW show again in my life. That'd be the end of AEW.
Can you imagine the storytelling on that new episode of Miz and Mrs. in season 4, where you've got like Mike, the Miz, Mizanin, and Maurice walking through the backstage area of AEW, and Cody Rhodes makes some snide remark about the Miz's testicles as a long-term storyline reference to season 3 where the Miz got a vasectomy, and Miz gets all personal, he gets all offended. And then the next scene is the Miz doing like really bad sex jokes about like his own dad. Like that's literally what Miz and Mrs. is. Like,
yeah, that's what we'll get. Yeah, oh god, I imagine then all these people on the internet would become. We have even more Miz fans just coming out of the woodwork like roaches on a rotting building. They'd be coming out of the woodwork just, oh my god, I love the Miz. I've always been a fan of the Miz. The Miz is all elite. Oh my god, it would make me sick. I'd probably deactivate my Twitter, deactivate my YouTube channel, just unsubscribe to WWE Network, never watch AEW again, and just move on from wrestling altogether.
You can picture like the fiending for followers tweet where it's like the AEW long-term storytelling is next tier. There's a picture of like Cody and the Miz facing off on like an episode of Superstars in like 2009, which first off, I don't know how he finds this stuff, but anyway, there's like Miz and Cody in like some Superstars match, like angrily staring at each other. Back when Cody had no knee pads and he was all oiled up and he was pretty much wearing nothing outside of his trunks. And you had the Miz wearing like literally like jean type trunks, and he has fedora, and there's like a long-term storytelling photo. Then you have 2021 AEW, and you got the Miz like crying in a segment with Cody Rhodes on Dynamite, where the Miz is like, "You're just a rip off me. The only reason you wanted to be like me is because I'm a successful A-list reality TV star." Meanwhile, you're sitting out here in Florida, Kevin, hitting a TV with a baseball bat, screaming. Oh, just great fun.
Yeah, I would definitely record my my live reaction to that. You get Miz and Maurice versus Brandy and Cody. Don't even manifest that, Sean, because somebody at AEW is gonna watch this video. They're gonna see your comment, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, the AEW fan. They want to see Miz and Mrs. versus Cody and Mrs." Oh, God, imagine. All right, before this stream goes way off the rails than it already is.
We're at QT Marshall versus Paul White. Prediction: Paul White wins. Next, what do you think?
Prediction: I don't care. I don't care who wins. Whoever, if somebody wins the match, whatever. God bless them. All right, move on to the next one.
Okay, hey, hold up. Wikipedia, dude. Is one of you guys in the chat doing this? Okay, the All Out card right now has AEW World Championship Eliminator Bryan Danielson versus Adam Cole. Whose mans has done this? Okay, seriously, bro, ridiculous. Anyway.
Grown Florida man breaks TV, pal. Yep. I'll be on the news. Florida, you'll literally see me everywhere because Florida news makes international headlines. You'll see on some show in some like daytime news show in Australia. Florida man breaks TV and jumps off a building after watching an All Elite Wrestling show.
I can picture you as though it's like JBL at the Mexican border. You're like angrily like looking into the camera being like, "This is the last time I'm ever putting up with them. I'm done. I'm done, bro." And then you're like, the camera walks back, you get a baseball and starts smashing the TV during an AW Dark episode where the Miz is doing Miz TV with Cody. And then you proceed to like walk over to some building and just jump off the building because of the Miz.
Yeah, that'll be it. Florida man ends life over a wrestling show. You can see it. You have my fiance being interviewed like, "Oh, fiance of Florida man cries," and then this will be on the headlines everywhere in Australian daytime TV, pal.
Oh God, oh my God, yeah, they cut from like the COVID case announcement press conferences where the premiers and the ministers are like crying because the COVID numbers keep going up, And then the next segment will be you being like, bro, I'm done, bro. I'm sick of this, bro. And you're like just smashing a TV with a baseball bat, being like, The Miz is awful, bro. 15 years, bro. I put up with this terrible mid-card wrestler, bro. I am done, bro. And you're just like raging. Amazing.
Yeah, that's it, pal. Call me Travis Scott. I'm gonna rage, pal.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we got. I'm gonna show this comment for everybody so you all can see it. That is a great comment by Brian. Bryan Danielson needs to retire, but is in the Impact Zone. What is this, bro? You could give us your insight on that one, pal. What do you think about that? If Bryan Danielson shows up in the Impact, pal.
Yeah, like, oh, dude, Jesus Christ. I think when it comes to that, it's like, God almighty. Because, Bryan Danielson's definitely showing up. There's a comment here from Ryan. When is Daniel Bryanson debuting? Predictions. For me, I think I alluded to earlier in the stream, I think AEW All Out closes with Daniel Bryan confronting probably Omega. I see them doing that, and then people will freak out, and then I'll get added like 45 times, being like, this clown wanted him to retire. I'm like, yeah, because I don't want him to kill himself. But anyway, so I'll be added. I think generally with Daniel Bryan in the Impact Zone, is there a point? If you're going to risk literally having more seizures, post-concussion, CTE type issues, neck injury, shoulder injury, etc., if you're going to risk that, why even bother doing it in the Impact Zone, where most people don't know how to watch Impact? Apparently they're on Twitch, and like 1,000 people watch Impact. As you've got like Eddie Edwards crying in the ring because Sami Callihan made a reference to him in an episode of Being the Elite like 4 years ago. Like, is that really the content we need? Bryan Danielson nearly killing himself in the ring for, Kevin, really?
Yeah, we're going to have Sami Callihan hitting Bryan Danielson with shoot shots with a baseball bat to the forehead, bro. That's exactly what we need. That's what the wrestling fan in 2021 is clamoring for, bro.
Bro, you've got Sami Callihan hit a spike pile driver to Bryan Danielson on thumbtacks, bro. Daniel Bryan is going to the emergency room in a gurney, bro. And then I'll be on Twitter being like, see, I told you I was right about Daniel Bryan. And his fans, all the Psycho Bryan fans who literally sent me death threats for making a video caring for Bryan's health, they'll have to eat their words because, hey, they'll be wrong, pal. Okay, Bryan will take 15 years off his life in a match in Impact. Oh, I was right. Suck on that, okay? Damn it. What a joke. Well, Kevin, the response I got for making that Bryan video, it made the community look like a joke. It was outrageous, pal. I'm sitting at work with a headache all day. I have like a migraine headache. I'm going on Twitter looking at those like reactions, and you'd think I legitimately showed up at Daniel Bryan's house in real life and like stabbed him. That was the type of reaction from Twitter. It was ridiculous, bro. And none of it was justified. All because I objectively showed ratings numbers, objectively showed trends, objectively showed Daniel Bryan and what could happen to him, pal. Apparently I'm Satan. So, yeah, quick tangent there. But, yeah, go on. Stop me, pal.
Yeah, so I'll stop you. I'm just going to read some more of these comments. BFB says, you got a grown man on stream falling off a chair, bro. The Destructor says, Florida people are crazy there, Heat. Yes, they are. Florida people are built different. Ishan for you says Daniel Bryan has shown up with Brie Bella to challenge Cody and Brandy to see who is the true power couple of pro wrestling. Excalibur says that, and the Elitas loves it, John.
Jesus Christ.
All right, let's go to the next match. Let's see, where do we go from here? I guess let's talk about Jon Moxley versus Satoshi Kojima.
Kevin, do you know who that is? Do you know who that is?
I have no idea. So I'm going to ask you, I'm going to pose this question. How do you want to attack this? I guess we could talk about the fact that Jon Moxley is one of AEW's 3 or 4 biggest stars, and he's going to be in a middle of the pack match on a loaded card against Satoshi Kojima. What do you think about that?
I guess this is just a prime example of AEW showcase, not pandering their own audience, but this is something I guess the New Japan viewers in the AEW crowd want to see, so I guess fair play. It's Satoshi Kojima. I'm not going to act like a bunch of these people are going to preview the show, act like we know everything about Satoshi Kojima, and we watched him grow up in the 90s, having great matches in AJPW and he took to the New Japan scene and won this title here and had this great career. The fact of the matter is, it's a 50-year-old man taking on the guy who's Dean Ambrose in WWE, the guy who was spraying mustard at Randy Orton and pouring barbecue sauce on Kane and making jokes about testicles with a Bane mask on. This guy is now having a great match on the undercard of AEW's, I guess, second or third biggest pay-per-view of the year against Satoshi Kojima, a guy who in 2001 was a big star in Japan. Now he's just kind of a mid-carder in Japan. Yeah, Kevin, I can't wait. You can hear the hype in my voice, pal. Kevin, I'm going to have the popcorn out. I'm going to have the whipped cream, the chips. I'm going to have a pizza out there. I'm going to have a couple of hot dogs just for Dean Ambrose.
What are you doing with the whipped cream, pal?
Oh, yeah, Kevin, no, I'm saving the whipped cream for the Punk match. But just generally speaking, I'll have all my food there. I'll be actively watching. As Moxley hits some, fake punches in his, whiplash rebound clothesline as a long-term storytelling reference to WWE. I'll be actively chewing on my barbecue flavored Pringles. What is this?
You're having your Vegemite toast,
Kojima, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what this is, bro. No, wait. First of all, I have to bring this to attention too. Where's the Australian representation on this pay-per-view, pal? There's no Australian performers. How ridiculous is that, bro?
Bro, I'm not being represented on this show, and this is the thing. Some people will probably point to, they'll identify some random AW employee who wrestles only on Dark and be like, well, they're Australian, so AW is Australian representation. Where is it? Okay, WWE does Australian representation pretty well. You've got my Outback Queen, Rhea Ripley, the owner of the steakhouse, the one who performs Post Malone songs to dingoes in the Aussie Outback. You got Rhea Ripley. You've got apparently Buddy Murphy's coming to AEW, and Buddy Murphy, I guess his gimmick's now that he's a released convict inmate from the WWE prison, who's I guess making $350,000 a year to barely wrestle and get to make a name for yourself on the WWE stage is prison. Apparently, that's news to me. But anyway, you've got Buddy Murphy. At least he's an Impact. And where is the Australian representation? The AEW, this is not good enough for a company that supposedly, I guess, touches on all bases and appeals to everyone, and there's no stone left unturned in AEW. Where's the Australian representation? How am I supposed to get behind anyone? In WWE, you've got Rhea Ripley performing circles by Post Malone in front of a gang of kangaroos. Where's that in AEW? What have they got? What am I supposed to buy as far as Australian representation? This is a major issue, Kevin. This company is supposed to be all-encompassing and caters to everyone. Where's my Aussie representation? Where is it? Where?
Do you remember when Cody had the drug-free bear? Do you remember that?
What?
Okay, so I'll put you on. So when Cody was in Ring of Honor, and BT was really getting hot, and the Bucks and Kenny and all those guys were really getting hot, in 2017 around there. Cody and Omega, I believe. I think all of them, the whole elite, was accused of doing steroids. So Cody, he paid some grown man. I think it might have been QT Marshall. I don't remember who it was. Some grown man and dressed up as a bear. And he was called the drug-free bear. I think it was Barry. His name was Barry the drug-free bear. So basically, the entourage, the American Nightmare entourage, was Cody, Brandy, Arn Anderson, Cody's third cousin, his father-in-law, his brother-in-law, and then Barry the drug-free bear. What if Cody came back with Kenny the drug-free kangaroo? Or well, obviously they can't use Kenny, but would that be good enough representation for you? If Cody had a kangaroo mascot follow him around? Or
right, so Cody had a drug-free bear. What?
Yeah,
that sounds like when, I don't know about what if you guys do over there in the States. Anyone who's Australian who listens to this, all one of you will probably relate to this. But there's this thing called Healthy Harold, which is some giraffe mascot that literally travels around school to school telling you each year, once a year for an hour, don't do drugs, be safe, don't do alcohol when you're 9. That's what that reminds me of. So you've got Cody literally with a Healthy Harold bear in Ring of Honor. And on Twitter, this is supposedly some magical long-term storytelling. Because in AEW, in early 2022, when Murphy shows up dressed in a bear costume, saying that he wants to take the Outback to AEW, when that happens and there's apparently great new Australian representation in AEW, that's really good because 4 years ago, Cody had a bear and QT Marshall kissed a bear on Ring of Honor TV. Now, apparently, that's really good content, pal. Ratings. That'll drive AW to the 1.5 million viewer plateau, pal. Damn it.
I'm gonna send you the picture right now on Discord of his name was Barry. You get it, like Barry, like Triple H buries talent. Real edgy.
Get it? Because Triple H buries people. Funny.
So edgy, pal. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's read some comments here because I mentioned Australia, so the chat usually loves this. Oh, this would be good.
There you go. I sent you a picture of Cody Rhodes' wife with Barry, the drug-free bear.
Prince of the Ring. I bet the elitist eats Vegemite Pringles. Ill. JB Bands. Maybe Buddy Matthews will sharp it all out. Jesus Christ. Ashan, we want Indy Hartwell and AW for the elitist. We do. Well, to be fair, in NXT at the moment, Indy Hartwell is having a deranged wedding with Dexter Lumis, so that's actually good. Radar BFB. Did you see the work rate the Iconics posted? Kevin, you saw this. The Iconics work rate. Walk us through what your colleagues at work thought of this work rate photo, pal.
Oh, should I tell that story?
Tell that story. The Elite Heat listeners need to hear this because this is the Iconics. People who, numerous people on stream, notably the one Brian who fell off the chair on stream, screamed about at length for years because their work rate wasn't up to par and they couldn't wrestle. Kevin, walk us through what your colleagues at work thought of the Iconics and just explain to the viewers that story, please.
Okay, so the Iconics, they posted a picture of their work rate because they're rebranding as what are they rebranding as? The Inspiration?
I don't know, don't care, but continue with the story.
So they posted this picture of themselves looking rather dashing, if you will. Shout out to our boy Cody Rhodes. They were looking dashing. And I'm showing this. I'm drunk enough now at the point I'm with some friends at the bar. I'm drunk enough where I'm just like saying whatever is coming to my mind. And I go on Twitter and I see that my Twitter's blown up and I got I don't even know, 500 likes or whatever on that tweet. And I'm like, guys, look at this. These are my favorite wrestlers. I'm sure they're your favorite wrestlers. And I'm showing everybody the picture of these women and they're like, wait, are those strippers? Those porn stars? Those can't be wrestlers. That's basically the the response that I got from my colleagues. They're like, wow, I bet they're on Pornhub or something. I'm like, nah, bro, they're wrestlers.
No, my guy, they're wrestling 3-minute long matches against Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan on SmackDown, which is no one's watching, and then they're losing every week and then just getting released.
Yeah, now they're so down horrendous after they got released that they have to post pictures. I'm not even going to say, never mind.
Don't even go there, but yeah, the whole point, I mean, you showed colleagues the Iconics and they got that reaction, okay? And I mean, it doesn't go to show you something about generally with, I guess, the talent they have in the women's division and the work rate they have in women's wrestling, that there's so much potential for great work rate like that. But instead, it's Ruby Riott kicking Natalia in the rib and missing and then getting rolled up in 6-minute matches every week.
Imagine if the Iconics were allowed to dress that way on WWE television. You bring them back, put them on Fox, and you tell them, all right, whatever their names are, Cassie and Jesse, dress like this, go out on SmackDown, cut a shoot promo on Triple H about how Triple H promised you all these things. You're going to be champions one day. After you get done with NXT, you're going to go see my dad and you're going to be a top star. They could cut a promo about that. Look, dress like that. Maybe even have some raunchy segments. Maybe you have Jimmy Uso out there or Jay Uso. Yeah, you have them hosting a dance contest where the Iconics are twerking on themselves. You got Tony Storm out there dressed like that. That would do real ratings. That segment would do 3.5 million viewers probably. How many people would be like, yo, turn this on? You got to see this segment. The YouTube clip of that of the Iconics twerking on themselves while Jimmy Uso is reciting some lyrics off of a Travis Scott song. Tell me right now that would not be money.
Kevin, I can literally just kind of take that spin and make it a genuinely really good storyline. When Edge gets his one more match versus Roman Reigns, and Edge is desperate, he's using all his heel tactics to try and undo the bloodline at all costs because he knows he can't beat them. You can have Edge almost recruit the Iconics to do just that. Literally do a striptease performance for Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso's marriage fails mid-storyline. You've got a divorce case with Jimmy Uso and Naomi. They're in court, all because of this one segment where you've got Cassie and Jesse seducing Jimmy Uso, and then Roman Reigns sees the footage later on the show. Roman Reigns breaks something in his tribal chief locker room. Jay Uso's there trying to calm him down. You know, you've got Roman Reigns is pissed. Paul Heyman's like crying in the background. You got Edge, like they show Edge is like laughing. You're like, the Rated R Superstar, that worked. And then the next week on SmackDown, you can have something similar. Like, be creative. How SmackDown on Fox, you got all the assets, you got all the availabilities, everything. But instead, no. Instead, we get Fergal Devitt popping out his testicles and then saying, Roman, I deserve a match because 5 years ago,
how is that allowed? How is Prince Fergal Devitt, a 40-year-old man, allowed to have his testicles hanging out on Fox TV, but we can't have Jesse and Cassie out there just half naked strip teasing for Jimmy Uso?
But that's setting the revolution back 5 years. Damn it. Apparently.
I don't get it. I don't understand. Like you could have Paul Heyman with his
the revolution,
eyes
Kevin, is literally Charlotte and Becky cutting promos every week. That's the freaking revolution. Like, no one cares.
Yeah, that's where we are. Yeah, you got Paul Heyman with his eyes popping out of his head as Cassie looks over at Paul Heyman and is like, you want some of this? Yeah, you could just have Paul Heyman have a stroke on live television. You can make a story out of that. Paul Heyman has a stroke on live television. Now Roman Reigns has to leave to go to the hospital with Paul Heyman. And then you have Edge show up at the hospital with like Gangrel and Christian makes a surprise appearance, and then you bring the whole brood together. The Inside Job is going crazy. You got Work Rate Productions; they're going insane, talking about it's an Inside Job, pal. Christian was on SmackDown, and you could have just Edge destroy Roman Reigns at the hospital, all because Paul Heyman had a stroke after looking at Cassie in scantily clad clothes, pal.
Well, that's like I can picture like they do some storyline with Jimmy Uso. Roman Reigns is like doubting his place in the bloodline because Jimmy Uso gets so distracted. He's prone to doing such dumb stuff, notably, obviously, the 4 DUIs particularly, but just generally, Jimmy Uso is prone to doing like dumb stuff. You know, they can bring up that segment, which, as Ishan mentions in the chat, the Mandy Rose seducing Jimmy Uso segment, they can bring that up. And then you can do some storyline where like they end up, I guess, Jimmy Uso beats someone in a match, and they advertise on SmackDown. It's going to be a live celebration featuring Jesse, Cassie, and Jimmy Uso in the middle of the ring on SmackDown. And then that's like marketed. You see like Edge backstage being like, this is the best celebration segment we've seen in 15 years. Wink, wink. And like they can do all this kind of stuff. And then people are going to be tuning in. You're going to be telling your friends, guys, SmackDown main event, Jimmy Uso is going to be doing a celebration with the 2 women you said look like they're so on a certain other website. Like, turn on SmackDown right now. This is going to be good. Like, Kevin, ratings. Okay, controversy creates cash. Ratings, pal. Ratings.
Yeah, I mean,
then Jimmy Uso doesn't show up to the celebration because he gets busted like driving to the arena drunk or something. You can do that. Like,
oh my god,
Kevin, incorporate reality into this, and not reality as in I deserve better. I should be pushed because I had a match in Ring of Honor 14 years ago versus Austin Aries. Not that reality. The reality is in Jimmy Uso loves DUIs, so that kind of reality. So that's my opinion. That's what I do. If you're booking SmackDown, I don't see how you don't do segments like that. SmackDown is the entertainment show built for teenagers and young adults. That kind of content is going to get you numbers. Instead, you have Becky Lynch cutting 6-minute promos about how the man worked hard to get back here, and now she beat Bianca Belair. Oh, that Kevin, that's Kevin. You talk about moving the needle. The needle is just. The needle's sent from where I am in Australia off to bloody Florida. That's how far the needles move. Like, get out of here, dude.
Yeah, the man went from holding a baby on her arm 3 weeks prior to SummerSlam to squashing the biggest star in WWE Women's Division, pal. That's where we are. That's where we are. She was holding a baby, bro. She wasn't practicing her wrestling. She wasn't having great matches. She was holding a baby. Yeah, okay, enough about that.
Seth Rollins' work rate is amazing, bro. He goes from being a father, and then later in the same night, he's a messiah crying at Edge. Okay, that is amazing. But anyway, I think we were talking about Moxley versus Kojima, and this is somehow got here.
Yes. Oh, yeah, let me just close this section by saying the Iconics, scantily clad Iconics, that would get a bunch of average 18 to 35-year-old males watching wrestling again. All of my friends said they would watch wrestling if the women were like that. So I'll leave it with that. Back to
I can't believe how dumb. Like, how can you not at least deploy some of the amazing work rate female talent you have on SmackDown, a show that's made for like, I guess what's the bracket there? Like teens through like 34s, like that kind of bracket, like the young adult bracket. It's made that bracket, and you don't think to do storylines like Edge employing the Iconics to like seduce Jimmy Uso, and then that causes tension in the bloodline because Reigns is pissed off that Jimmy Uso's not taking his role seriously. How do you not do stuff like that? Like, it just. But no, instead we need Balor's testicles. Anyway, Kevin, we move. Next match. Let's move on.
Yeah, John Moxley will probably beat Kojima. I don't see any other way how the AEW guy loses here. And any predictions, pal?
I thought they'd do Moxley versus Hiroshi Tanahashi at the show. They didn't. So we've got Kojima. Moxley wins. Next, move on.
Yes, sir. Okay. Let's talk about Chris Jericho, the Ayatollah of rock and roller, the demo god, a little bit of the bubbly.
Yeah, the Ayatollah of rum and cola, pal. You'll have to say it.
Versus Maxwell Jacob Friedman. If Jericho loses, he must retire from in-ring competition. So what that means is Jericho's going to lose and then show up on WWE, pal, in 3 months.
Inside job?
He's going to be a Survivor Series. He's going to be a Survivor Series punching The Rock in The Rock's return to wrestling.
God. Yeah, in the first episode of Mick Foley's new podcast on the WWE Network, it'll be starring Chris Jericho. And Twitter will break because they're like, oh my God, Jericho boarded a WWE plane. Oh my God.
Yeah, and then the whole interview would be Mick Foley is talking about, hey, Chris, you remember that one time that we wrestled at a house show in Madison Square Garden and Scott Hall and Kevin Nash were doing drugs in the back?
Bro, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash for blocking them from getting through with Sonny and Shawn Michaels in the shower, bro. Ridiculous. Bro, it's just WWE 1996, bro. Shawn Michaels, the champion, should be more worried about the ratings and beating WCW, but instead he's doing God knows what backstage. You got The Undertaker walking in there, bro, with eyeliner on, punching people in the locker room, bro. Terrible. Bro, you've got Owen Hart and British Bulldog back there explaining great work rate to these random nobodies, and then John Bradshaw Layfield walks in 1997 with a football helmet on and punches someone in the locker room, bro. Ridiculous.
Oh my God. Ishan just told me to look at WWE's latest tweet, and they tweeted out a celebratory tweet about 15 years of awesome. And it's The Miz. It's a compilation of The Miz saying awesome for 58 seconds. We got a 41-year-old failed reality TV star saying awesome. That's the kind of content I need. Thank you, WWE. Thank you to WWE's social media marketer. Thank you for that. I needed that.
Because I'm The Miz. And I'm... Finish the sentence, Kevin.
I don't even know, pal. Look at this.
There's no word you can say without our stream getting taken down to end that sentence. So, yeah, that being said, I mean, I guess we're talking about Jericho and MJF. As far as this match goes, personally, with the way they've booked it, Jericho losing just doesn't seem like it's a reality. If it happens, fair play. I suggested the double tone idea. I think that's a decent shout. MJF could just shoot promos and the fans would cheer him. So I think that would work. And eventually MJF...
Bro, the structure, I've done like a million Miz rants, pal. There's no more Miz rants coming. I've done too many.
Miz rant part 2. More like Miz rant part 1083. But yeah, all good. Jesus Christ.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna read the chat here. Radar BFB, Shawn Michaels and Triple H love getting off to NXT matches. What is this, bro? Brian, wait like a little bit. I'm gonna be yelling about NXT just shortly. So yeah, that's all good. But now, as far as this match, Kevin, Jericho wins, does he not? Or do you think MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman there, John, gets the win? What do you think? Well, walk us through that, pal.
I just have to say this about AEW's booking. The whole idea, what was it called? The labor of Jericho, right? That's what they referred to this.
The 5 labors of Y2J there, John. Yeah.
Why was the last labor not at All Out? Doesn't make any sense. Like, they booked themselves in a corner and they forgot, oh, wait, we promised 5, but we actually need 6 matches. We had Jericho getting his head sliced open by a pizza cutter. We had Domino's threatening to never work with All Elite Wrestling again over this. And then the payoff is, oh, I know I just lost, but I want another match, and I'll put my career on the line to get the match. Like you have Jericho. God, I'm gonna stop my rant before we go even more off the rails. Just it doesn't make any sense. The booking.
It doesn't. Yeah, MJF will probably cop an L here or something. Jericho will like harness all the labors, and you'll have like all the people he's beaten, Hoovy and Nick Gage and all these guys, they'll come out and they'll probably turn on MJF and Jericho will win, and it'll be some magical moment in Chicago, and MJF will be like bleeding, he'll be like crawling up the ramp like crying, and Jericho will get the best of Maxwell probably. I don't know, but you know, something like that. That seems like AEW booking, but yeah.
Basically, there we go. Kevin versus The Miz, Survivor Series in a Puerto Rico death match. I have to go New Jack on him, pal. I gotta go New Jack when he went to Puerto Rico and wrestled an 87-year-old man and was stabbing him.
That's so horrible.
I'm gonna go. Yeah. But let's have a Puerto Rican death match. I'll be screaming at The Miz in Puerto Rican slang. Let's do it. Sign me up.
Oh my god. That's great. You have a Puerto Rican oil bath match versus The Miz, pal. God almighty. What a disgusting visual that is. Anyway, moving on. Let
me just say my prediction for Jericho versus MJF. Jericho's going to win. Jericho's going to do some, like, I don't know, like some shooting star press, 720 planche off the top rope. And he's just going to do, like, that classic pose where he does his, like, the flexing of his muscles, and he's got one foot on MJF, and yeah, MJF will be buried forever, pal. That's my prediction.
God. And Twitter will say there's just long-term storytelling. MJF's being used properly. Whereas if this was Karrion Kross in WWE, you've got Vince McMahon getting sent death threats on Twitter. So anyway, as far as that goes, I think we can move on to the next match, pal. This next match, let's just talk about this. You've got Adam Cole's wife defending the AEW World Championship, or the Women's World Championship, sorry, against an alien, bro. So Cole's wife versus an alien. Walk us through this one, pal. Who do you think's winning?
Are they married? Is that a fact? Because we're gonna get some people are like, no, they're not married, bro.
I couldn't give a flying stuff. The point is, Cole is with Baker, and people who are down horrible on Twitter simp over it. So the fact of the matter is, Kevin, let's shoot it straight here, okay? Let's treat this like kayfabe commentaries of Sean Oliver. I'm going to give you the facts right now, and you're going to listen. Britt Baker is defending the title against Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's World Championship. The fact of the matter is, Kevin, Britt Baker's winning this match. I will not hear otherwise. If you tell me otherwise, I refuse to listen. I'll pull a Go Ninja from MY206 and block you on Twitter. That's what we're just going to do, pal. Britt Baker wins. End of story. We move.
Oh God, I mean that's fair enough. I don't really have much insight on this anyway. Maybe we'll get like Rebel turning on Britt Baker. That'll add some interest to this. Or we'll have Adam Cole make his debut, and Adam Cole will kiss his wife on live TV. And there you go, pal.
And you'll have people on Twitter being like, "Oh my!" Like as Adam Cole like kisses Britt Baker, you have Twitter being like, "Oh my God, I wish I was Britt Baker right now." It's like, okay, thank you for sharing that. You have whatever preference you like. Genuinely amazing. Just be happy, whatever you want. But if you're gonna flood the Twitter timeline with a picture of Adam Cole kissing Britt Baker, going, "Oh my God, Britt Baker's the luckiest woman on earth right now. I wish I was him or her." Like, bruh, do we need that on our timeline? Like, I want my Twitter timeline to be J Rants like abusing people with quote tweets. I want my timeline to be WWE 58-second videos of The Miz saying awesome. I want my timeline to be pictures of Roman Reigns holding Universal title, #Roman365. I don't need to see the Adam Cole simp crew on social media being like, "Oh my God, I want his lips." Like, we don't need this, dude. We don't need this. But anyway.
No, we don't. Yeah, anyway. Britt Baker's going to squash Chris Statlander, pal. I don't even know what she did to earn this match. She must have wrestled a couple great matches on AEW's YouTube special. And yeah,
no, short-sighted, narrow-minded, Kevin. Chris Statlander flew to Mars. Okay, she came back from Mars. She stopped by Neptune on the way home. She came to AEW, hit up Jacksonville. Tony Khan said, "Oh, you're the world-renowned alien astronaut, Chris Statlander. Here's the title match. Did you just come off 9 months with an ACL injury? Here's the world title match, it all out for you. Enjoy." Like, I guess that's a story, pal. So
yeah, there's a story there. Like I said, hopefully Rebel will turn or something. I don't know. Yeah, Britt Baker, she's a good enough star, but she can just about carry any fuse. So I'm sure this will be a good match, and this will everyone will appreciate the work rate here in this match. And yeah.
Well, Kevin, hold on. So I remember when you tweeted saying like Britt Baker's like AEW's or just the most mainstream female star in wrestling, something like that, and wrestling Twitter like cried and were saying you paragraph long essays about how you're Satan. Remember that?
Oh yeah. I said Britt Baker's the best female wrestler in the world, and I don't care about her ability to execute matches. So people are like, how can you say someone's the best wrestler in the world and they're not able to execute matches? Well, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, and The Rock, and all these guys will beg to differ about that, pal. But yeah, I mean, she's
Well,
the most charismatic.
how many 5-star matches does Steve Austin have, huh? You tell me that. If you're going to try and bring up great wrestlers and talk about how good wrestlers are comparatively, you can't look at Steve Austin's 5-star match catalog and compare that to someone like Hiroshi Tanahashi or Kenny Omega and even put them in the same playbook. How dare you compare Steve Austin to Kenny Omega? Kevin, you know nothing about wrestling. Casual.
Exactly.
Shut
I'm
up.
a casual. I'm a cancer to wrestling Twitter, pal. Yeah, Britt Baker. She's the most charismatic female. Like, she's the most charismatic female AEW has. She's more charismatic than anybody on WWE's TV. She has way more presence than Becky Lynch and Charlotte and whoever else you want to consider as like the second tier after those two. You compare her to Bayley, Sasha. Like, I'll take Britt Baker over all of them. You know, she can cut a promo. She can have a good storyline. She'll bleed for this business, damn it. She can have great matches. She can steal the show when she needs to. Like, she can do everything else. Like, exactly. What does she not do? Like, what does Britt Baker have? Okay, she can't execute fake looking kicks like Asuka. Okay, and Asuka's great. I'm not slandering Asuka. I love Asuka. She's one of the top 3 women wrestlers in the world, but she's just not booked like it. If she went to AEW, she would probably be head and shoulders above Britt Baker if she was allowed to show her true charisma, her work rate, in-ring ability, pal. But she's not. So she's in catering right now, hanging out with Xavier Woods, rewatching Xavier Woods' glory days, pal.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Our adult film star, elite hate friend, Xavier Woods.
Yeah. The guy that's
a confronting tape. I'm not going to throw it to this topic much, but Xavier Woods, it's just, I can't watch him as a New Day, like a face for WWE's relationship with Be a Star, and he's coming out there throwing bootios at kids in the crowd. Meanwhile, this is the same guy who was literally standing 3 feet away from Brad Maddox. I'm not even going to go there, but anyway, Triple X Woods, yes, correct.
Let me say this about Xavier Woods. He's turned down more money from porn sites than people like Adam Cole have made in their entire career, pal.
Xavier Woods had a superb performance in that leaked tape from Paige's camera roll. Okay, but anyway, we move.
Destroyer BHB says Xavier's Wood. Oh God,
Jesus Christ. Yeah, well, I got no. If this is a Smarkbuster stream, this would get horrible right about now. But nonetheless, we're going to move on. So that match we were just talking about there, the women's title match, Baker wins. We move. Maybe Adam Cole comes out after the match and they proceed to like make out on AW pay-per-view, and you've got Twitter like wishing they were Britt Baker in that situation. I don't know, but the fact of the matter is Baker wins, and yeah, fun.
Oh, here's a great comment. Xavier Woods loved the page he was on when he was reading the Book of Work Rate.
Oh my God. The page he was on was reading the Book of Work Rate. Literally, yeah. I mean, Brad Maddox was in the middle of reading like the page itself, and then you've got Woods just standing back a meter away reading it as well. It was some content, but
Woods was getting in on the book too, pal.
Yeah, he's saying they're holding the camera, third wheeling, but
you haven't seen the whole video then, pal, I assume.
I'm saying no. I'm selectively choosing to bring that bit up because that bit it makes for better content.
Fair. I was gonna say we have to do a watch along, pal. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that Elite Heat OnlyFans. We're gonna do a watch along of that Xavier Woods piece of content for the Elite Heat OnlyFans. We're gonna do $25 a month, same rates as a certain other YouTuber in the wrestling community. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna react to the Woods tape. We're gonna react to, I mean, you name it, all the most horrible, offensive wrestling segments in history. We're gonna do some R-rated skits like JBL. In the shower, like all this kind of stuff. It's gonna be great.
We're gonna do drunk JBL hanging out with Randy Orton, where Randy Orton's venting about his role in WWE.
You got drunk JBL in the shower with Ron Simmons. Oh God.
Drunk JBL.
Margo. Is that Sonny God Almighty. Jesus Christ. Anyway, this was supposed to be a review, preview for Baker and an Alien. So
yeah, this is getting ridiculous, bro. Okay, so prediction: Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander. They'll have a crisp, flawless, perfection work rate match for about 17 minutes. There'll be lots of good kicks. Ricky Steamboat arm drags. That'll probably make Ricky Steamboat envious because he won't be able to execute arm drags as good as them. We'll get some crisp punches to the face in the corner. Some moves going over the top rope. And then Britt Baker will pin her 1, 2, 3, and she'll hold the title up and she'll write DMD to the camera. And everyone else will do their little writing of DMD in the air, and we'll all go home happy, right, pal?
Everyone write DMD in there. That's so good. Yeah, and then we'll cut to the next match, and you'll see Kojima backstage screaming about John Moxley, probably. I don't know. That's probably what they're going to do, but yeah, I think I'm ready to move on to our next match there, John.
Yeah, do you think Wrestling Gifts is going to tweet about this show? Because he's an AEW fan now. What do you think, pal?
Well, Gift's tweet about the show. I mean, he'll tweet about the Punk match, and he might tweet when about the Christian match because I mean, Gifts loves Canada there, John. But yeah, outside of that, I don't think we're getting a peep out of Gifts from the rest of the show. Maybe if Jericho, I don't even bloody know. Maybe we'll get probably 3 to 4 tweets from Gifts about All Out, and we will not get a how good was AEW All Out or the greatness of AEW All Out. We won't get a video from Gifts, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yeah, we will get one from Tranquilo Club though. That we will. You can bet on that, there, John.
Yes, pal. The night AEW changed the business forever, and then the thumbnail will be a picture of like CM Punk crying as he's hugging his sister in Chicago, or Daniel Bryan saying they're confronting Kenny Omega at the end of the main event, and it'll be like, "OMG!" It's like the text in the thumbnail. I can see it now.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we've got Miro, or as I like to call him, Rusev, versus Eddie Kingston. We got Rusev here defending his AEW TNT Championship, pal.
Bro, you've got Miro. You got CJ Perry's husband, bro. CJ Perry, Lana, a TikTok star, fashion model. You've got Miro, her husband, bro, defending the AEW TNT Championship against John Moxley's boyfriend, bro. It's gonna be a great match, bro. You excited, bro?
Oh, I can't wait, bro. Apparently, Tranquilo Club will be there live, pal. No, that's exciting. Yeah, I don't know like how Eddie Kingston has a title match, but John Moxley's having a good work rate match on the undercard, but that's neither here nor there.
Because John Moxley respects Japanese wrestling, pal. Don't be short-sighted. Kevin, I'm gonna stop listening to this podcast because of your ignorance. Damn it.
Yeah, Miro versus Eddie Kingston. The promos, from my recollection from last week, the promo to help build up this match was Rusev. He's at the back just screaming, "Eddie, come get to me, Eddie, come to me. I want to fight you, Eddie." That's literally what I remember. He's standing in the back next to the arcade machine that he threw Orange Cassidy into 7 months ago, screaming Eddie into the microphone. So yeah, that's the build up that I've seen from this, pal.
Oh god. And also we got Prince of the Ring official in chat. Speak English, Jimmy, not Chinese. Okay, bet. Ni hao, what's Jimmy, Huan AEW, which means hello, I'm Jimmy, I like AEW. See, I can speak Chinese fluently, okay? Shut up.
You
Prince.
can?
No, I did Chinese at school for like 9 years. I stopped in the 8th grade and I barely remember anything. But I know how to say hello, count to 10, my name is, and that kind of stuff. So yeah.
I can help you if you want to pick up some Spanish women, pal. I'll give you some game later if you want to learn another language, pal.
Yeah, if I want to, I would say so I can use the Spanish you teach me at nightclubs in Australia, or where I'm at. But everything's closed because of lockdown, so it's probably useless. But what we can do for the Elite Heat only fans is exclusive Spanish lessons with Kevin Garcia.
Yeah, we can have me teaching everyone how to flirt in Spanish, pal.
Jesus Christ! Imagine you've got. Let's not even go there. Anyway, next, let's just continue with this preview, pal. We've got Miro, Eddie Kingston. Miro gets the W here. Do you see any possible fathomable outcome to where Eddie Kingston defeats Miro for the TNT Championship?
If I was AEW, I would have Eddie Kingston beat Miro because Eddie Kingston is 100 million times more entertaining than Rusev. I would just rather watch Eddie Kingston cut promos every single week. That dude is so good on the mic. Just give him the belt, pal. Just do it. Just do it. Tony Khan, just do it. Just change the booking sheet and just have Eddie Kingston go over, pal. Please.
Yeah. You hear this, Tony? You hear this? Take a page out of the Nike playbook and just do it, okay? For God's sakes, Tony. Well, we want to see what Eddie Kingston's custom TNT title will look like. We've seen Miro's like white and green one. What would yours look like, Eddie? What would it look like? We want to see that, pal. So, yeah, I mean, Kevin, at this point, the only thing I care about the TNT title is just what the new design will look like when the new champion comes in. Like, that's really about it. Because generally, outside that, I don't really care. I mean, this is Rusev. He looks a bit more dominant, I guess, right now than he did at stages in WWE. But that said, this is the same guy who was in the co-main event of one of the biggest WrestleManias of the past 15 years, coming out in a tank with his hot wife against John Cena in the co-main event. So I don't see how Miro had a horrible, terrible WWE career. They made him worthless, and him wrestling a mid-card match against like Eddie Kingston's that much better. But anyway, what do I know about wrestling, pal? All I do is just watch and comment on it. So yeah, all good.
Yeah. So Eddie Kingston defeats Miro. That's my prediction. I'm gonna manifest that into reality. I just want to see Eddie Kingston. Maybe he'll put some New York flavor on it. Maybe we'll get a Yankees logo or something. You know, we'll see something cool, man. He'll be out there in his Yonkers accent, yelling every single week at the upcoming challengers. Maybe we'll get like Eddie Kingston versus QT Marshall, pal, at the next pay-per-view. Who knows? Yeah.
God,
so,
you're gonna have Eddie Kingston hit his finisher on Miro and pin him ER Sun Sir, and yeah, get the win over Body Miro. So that's me counting in Chinese, Prince. Shut up. But yeah, all good. All good. We move. So next up, I guess it's time for the big time matches, pal. We've covered most of the, I guess, well, not mediocre. Some of the stuff's mediocrity, other stuff's interesting. Mainly Paul White versus QT Marshall's the mediocrity, Kevin. But I think it's time to talk about the big match, Kevin. The match that we're all waiting for, the match that we haven't seen yet, the match that it's a main event, any stadium in the world. Kenny, by God, Omega defending the AW World Championship.
You gotta let me introduce this one.
Yeah, go for it. Go over to you.
So you have Kenny Omega with Don Callis. Oh, it's Kenny Omega. It's Kenny by God Omega. He's the best bout machine. And I'm the invisible hand of AEW. Don Callis. Taking on Christian Cage. That's what we got going here, pal. A 47-year-old Christian Cage going up against a 37-year-old Kenny Omega. I guess this is a winner-take-all match. Is the Impact Championship on the line, or is it just the
AEW World Title? They had the Impact match like a week or 2 weeks ago on Rampage. They're done.
There you go. So Christian is here to outwork everyone with his phenomenal in-ring ability. And yeah, this is the main event. I guess we'll see.
Yeah. I don't really know if it should be, but as we've kind of alluded to, the most likely outcome, if you see the show open with CM Punk's music hitting, the show's going to end with Daniel Bryan's music hitting. So that's how I'd put it. I think this match ends, Omega retains, and then Bryan Danielson comes out and they start their big match in New York. Danielson versus Omega for the AEW World Title in front of 20,000 people. I think that's where they're going with it.
That way the fans will hit the right gimmick and they'll be chanting yes for the right guy. Daniel Bryan will waltz out there, and I don't have a problem with it. I would not mind seeing Daniel Bryan in AEW. At least if Daniel Bryan's in AEW, he can't ruin any more dream matches. Now, the next one we got to get rid of is Finn Balor. Send him to AEW so he can stop ruining dream matches. Then yeah, that's all we need. I mean, I'm all for it. Omega versus Daniel Bryan will be a good match. It'll probably be better than Omega and Christian Cage. I don't know.
Yeah,
can't say for sure, but either way, this match Omega and Christian Cage, I know we saw it a couple weeks ago, but they're gonna go balls to the wall. This match will be better, guaranteed.
Yeah,
they'll probably wrestle for like 45 minutes. You have Christian breathing heavy. He'll talk about post-match how he's been dieting hard and training hard, and then Omega will just laugh. He'll just be like, "Oh yeah, that Christian Cage guy, he was good back then when he was in the Brood or something like that." And then everybody will be like, "Oh my God, can Omega mention the Brood?"
Oh my God, Gangrel and AEW confirmed. But yeah, no, you mentioned balls to the wall there. I'm sure but a few AEW fans will be on balls to the wall during the match. I just generally think, yeah, good match all round. You're going to have good work rate on display. I think in the end, yeah, Christian will cop an L. He's already the Impact World Champion, so he can come out every Tuesday or Saturday. What day is Impact even on?
I think it's Thursday,
Thursday, yeah. So he can come out on Thursday in front of 3,000 people on a Twitch live stream and say Eddie Edwards is a bad wrestler and they're going to have a good match in front of no one. So, yeah, I think Omega gets the win, and then the show ends with Bryan Danielson coming out there and they'll set up their match for the New York show in the stadium. One thing I will say, with that match between Bryan and Omega, I'm hoping we don't see too many dragon suplexes, because that will paralyze Daniel Bryan. I'll just say that. But anyway, we move.
God.
Kevin, you look at that move. It's just that's a disaster waiting to happen in AEW. You get someone who's not properly trained doing that, Bryan is legitimately dead. But anyway, we move.
It's a disaster, bro.
Bro, the Elitist is an awful person and a Daniel Bryan hater for not wanting Daniel Bryan to be dragon suplex onto his spinal cord and kill himself in the ring, bro. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Then we'll get Hangman winning the belt at Full Gear. That'll happen. Absolutely correct there, Ishan.
Correct.
Yeah. So, Cage Omega. I mean, this match, I'm looking forward to it. I want to see it. It's gonna be a good match. I'm curious. Like, I always think about this. I'll ask you this question because it just popped in my head. I feel like if I wasn't a content creator at this point, I would enjoy this show a lot more. Just being a content creator has kind of watered a lot of stuff down for me. I don't know if you feel the same. What do you think?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, because I watched ever since really 2020. My mindset's been just trained to like the talking points is what I care about. The big stuff is all that really matters to me. The rest, the whole wrestling show experience, I don't really take in as much, like at all. That's how I feel at least. I mean, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like I feel like if I wasn't a content creator, I'd be like, wow, we're gonna get Omega versus Christian Cage, Daniel Bryan's gonna be there. Like, it would just be awesome. Punk versus Darby Allin, Jericho versus MJF, Jericho's career is on the line. But as a content creator, I'm just like, man, I watch so much wrestling now for my channel and this channel. I feel like I've seen everything at this point, you know?
Well, I feel like if I wasn't doing this, I wouldn't even be watching, you know? So this keeps the Elitist in the door, pal. The love of making content keeps me going. So, yep.
I know and a lot of it's Twitter too. The AEW fan base on Twitter.
Oh, it's bloody horrible. It's so bad, Kevin. It's just like you have any opinion and you get slammed, and it's just Twitter. I mean, Kevin, go on. You're the big dog on Twitter out of us two. Walk us through the dynamic of Twitter and your love for wrestling.
If I put my Twitter away and never looked at it again and just went back to being an AEW fan the way I was when AEW first started, I wouldn't even know about these psychos that are online. It wouldn't even cross my mind. I just want to watch a good show, and I'd be soaking this stuff up more. Maybe I'd be watching BTE. You know, like the 15 minutes I spend looking for Twitter content every day, I would be spending that watching BTE, just staying in the loop, in the know. And yeah, Twitter, the way people they freak out. It's like this. It's like a cult, for lack of a better term. And they make you, in a way, resent AEW, no matter how good or how well perceived the product is to be. The way some of these people can be on Twitter, it just makes you not want to watch. You know, when they say everything is good and you're a terrible, horrible, vile human being, you got people threatening people's families and wife and kids because they post like a 30-second clip on Twitter of somebody making a botch on an AEW show. That kind of stuff really does take a toll on you when you see it every day and you're exposed to it every day. And you get calluses just from seeing it, that it becomes normal. And that's like, I've hit a point where it's like, wow, this is not normal. It's not normal behavior, and it's just wrestling, and it kind of takes away from the enjoyment. It's not life or death,
Well, that's the thing. Like it goes back to just the people who do it generally. I mean, it's not saying like this is like people can misconstrue this as just, oh my god, the AW sexuals turn you off totally. And like what e-drones are fine. Like, no, the whole point is how people interpret and take wrestling on Twitter and make it so over the top intense, so just toxic and like confronting. You can't just enjoy something without a decent like cult like group of people attacking if you don't share the exact same opinion or you don't like something they like. Like, this has always been the thing, at least in my channel, and you're much the same, which is why I think we're going pretty well in this regard, in the sense that if you don't like something, like, all good, but you're not going to, like, totally shame everyone else for liking it. Like, I'll use the Finn Balor example. I'm not a Finn Balor fan. Everyone and their mother knows it. But I'm not going to be like, oh, how effing dare you like Finn Balor? I hate you because you like Finn. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not a fan of the guy if he pops his nuts out on TV and is overrated. Some people like him. Amazing for them. It's just like, just be normal. I don't see where this whole thing becomes, Kevin, which, as you mentioned with Twitter, where if someone isn't a fan of Kenny Omega for whatever reason, they're all of a sudden a horrible person because they share a different opinion. Like, bro.
Yeah, I mean, basically, and I've touched on this too when it comes to the fan base on Twitter. The WWE fans, or the E-drones, quote unquote, like there's a few of them. You guys know who I'm talking about, some of the big ones. But for the most part, the WWE fan base as a whole, at least on Twitter, they're susceptible to jokes. You can make fun of things that suck. You can laugh at, the Miz and Dripsticks, and you won't have people attacking you, being like, "Oh my God, how could you not like the Miz?" You see a little bit of that. There's a little bit of the toxicity when it comes to like Adam Cole, Sasha Banks, Alexa Bliss, Finn Balor. Like those are some of the more toxic ones. But even still, like you can make fun of Finn Balor and a bunch of people will be on your side. But if you make fun of like Kenny Omega, it's over. Like you're gonna be just assaulted verbally by people. Tony Khan is gonna personally make sure that your Twitter account is closed.
Facts.
It's just there's an overwhelming effort that's prolonged to silence people that are critiquing AEW, and that's part of it too. It's not just the Twitter fans; it's also a conscious effort by the company to pay off journalists, to make sure that people are on their payroll, to make sure only good things are being published by them. And we've had a conversation about this before, so I don't want to go too deep into it, but it's just a lot of things have turned me off from AEW and have like not callous, but have slowed the momentum that I had as a fan for them a lot since like when Double or Nothing first started. Like when I think back to Double or Nothing 2019, I was in hook, line, sinker. Like I wasn't like I wasn't like one of those people that had 25 burner accounts on Twitter trying to get people reported. I didn't even know what Twitter was. Like wrestling Twitter. I didn't know what wrestling Twitter was. Obviously I know what Twitter is, but I didn't know what wrestling Twitter was like. And I just watched AEW because I liked it and I wanted an alternative. And it was good. And you had like Bret Hart there, you had all this mainstream stuff, and it was fun to watch. Now my perspective is so different now from where I was 2 years ago.
Couldn't agree more. Like I remember back when Dynamite was like a weekly thing and like the Wednesday Night Wars were kicking off like October, November, December of 2019. I'd literally, because this is Australia, keep in mind, so it's like midday. I'd finish school for the year pretty much. You do like a workout in the morning, and then you literally just lounge around. Beautiful 20-something degree day, sunny outside. You'd have you got Dynamite playing. You're generally interested in Dynamite because Jericho's doing stuff. There's the Jericho Cody stuff. Moxley's doing this. Like you're genuinely invested in it. It's a cool look. It's fresh. It's new. It's exciting. And you've got NXT's playing, which at the time like NXT on USA at 2 hours felt like more of a big deal than it ended up becoming. And it was like this big deal. And then everything pans out. You get on social media. You see how social media treats this stuff. Like back in late 2019, I wasn't actively invested in this. Oh my God, what rating did AEW do in the 18 to 34 demo amongst males who have 2 cats and 1 dog? Like it wasn't like that. It wasn't like this toxic mess where everything becomes the rating number. Everything becomes you have to like this wrestler. Everything becomes if you don't enjoy this storyline or think Jericho versus Orange Cassidy is a good way of going about business in the heart of AEW in 2020, you're a horrible person. F you. You shouldn't be associated with AEW. We don't want to think about you. Blocks, reported. Like, why is that a thing? It's a terrible look for a fan base and a company and really just the community as a whole. That's what I think.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have, their brand new star telling people if you don't like what you saw, then shut the F up and all this. And
he's made for AEW in that regard, I will say, Punk. When that mentality is made for AEW, but yep, all good.
Absolutely. Let me see what we got going on here. Okay, I guess it's time. Speaking of the man Punk, it's time to talk about the what in a lot of people's minds is the main event of the show. CM Punk versus Darby Allin, the man himself, CM Punk, who we never thought we'd see wrestle again after 7 long years, is going to lace him up, and he's going to have a wrestling match with Darby Allin. And here we go. This is the big draw of the show. CM Punk's return. It doesn't get any better than this, right?
God, yeah. It's gonna be insane. Punk's first match. I don't know what the general consensus. I'm gonna get your opinion on this, and people in chat feel free. I know really what the general expectation is from Punk in this. I'm just hoping he doesn't do any like botches, and he just gets through, and that's all good. I'm expecting a good match. I'm not expecting Punk to tear the house down. This isn't Punk at his apex, having the bangers against like Brock and Taker and Cena that he was in 2012 and 13. Maybe Punk comes out and does like a god tier performance. Hopefully he does. I'm not really expecting too much. I don't know what you're thinking, Kevin. What do you expect from the Punk's in-ring performance?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to expect. Like I've been thinking about this leading up to the show. I don't really know what to expect from Punk's debut in AEW from an in-ring perspective because I'm looking at it, and Darby Allin is ideally one of the better opponents that you could put him in the ring with. It's somebody that's younger than him, somebody that is pretty experienced now. Darby Allin's been in a ton of big matches. He's worked with a lot of veterans. It's not Darby Allin from 2019 working with Cody Rhodes. It's not the same guy. He's good, and Punk is good. As far as the last time we saw him, he was great. And like you said, this is not going to be Punk versus Brock. It's not going to be Punk versus Taker, Punk versus Cena, but this should be pretty good. I think realistically, could you give Punk a better opponent for his first feud or his first match in AEW? What do you think?
Kenny Omega. Kenny. Sorry, what? Sorry.
Well, I understand why they wouldn't want to blow the Kenny Omega thing right off the bat. Like I think they're smart from that respect for letting Punk work out the kinks and not wait a little bit to do him versus Kenny. So aside from Kenny, do you think there's anybody else that you would like to see that you would think would be better than Darby?
For a first opponent, Jesus. Because people mentioned Sting. I don't think Sting would be a good way at all to showcase Punk's first match back. I think Darby, as far as it's a good bet. I mean, Darby's one of the better ones you can do. I'd still stick by you do one Kenny match now, and then they can do a proper feud like down the line. But yeah, I think Darby's a good shout, I reckon.
Yeah, I see the pros and cons with Kenny. I see both sides. I understand why it would be a good opportunity, good match. Another one, ideally, would have been Jericho. You have the 6 labors of Jericho. Punk is the last labor. That would have been cool. But whatever, it is what it is. As far as somebody that Punk has worked with, you want to make him look good as possible. He and Jericho already have great chemistry. They've wrestled countless times. Granted, when they were wrestling, Jericho was Punk's age now, and Punk was a lot younger than he is. So from that respect, maybe not the best. And you also have MJF, someone who's a very safe worker. He's not a Darby Allin type. You're not going to see any spots with MJF like falling back first, like 20 feet off the arena. You're not going to see that. So that's one thing that I think about with this match. Like, are they going to go like really 100% all out? No pun intended with this match, where Darby Allin's going to be doing like these crazy spots that he's known for. We're going to have Punk like diving, I don't know, like 20 feet through a table off a ladder or something. Do you think it's going to get to that level? Like, what are you expecting from this match?
As Ishan says in chat, Darby going to bump like crazy for Punk. Yeah, I think Darby in that sense is really good. That Darby will make Punk probably look a bit better than he might be on his return. And I think that's good. Obviously, as I just mentioned, I think Kenny would make Punk look excellent on his first match as well. But to me, I think what to expect from that. I'm perplexed to see how they do the match. I think that's the best part of this. Like, I genuinely don't know what to expect, which is really good, which is something that would make me like want to see the match live and like see the pay-per-view. So in that sense, like, I want to give an in-depth preview, but at the end, I have no clue. This isn't like a bunch of this other stuff on the card where like you can pretty much tell what they'll do in like Paul White versus QT Marshall or like the women's title match. Like this one, the match is going to be a sight to behold. It's going to be like 15 minutes of just, you don't know what to expect. You know how Punk's going to perform. Obviously, this isn't the same Punk who would literally walk out there half-assing a 5-star match against Brock or Taker in 2013. Like, it's not the same Punk, but it's gonna be insane. It's gonna be must see. Kevin, I can't wait. I'm sure you're the same.
Oh, absolutely. I just have to mention this too. We have not one, but 2 legendary performers making their in-ring debut for AEW. You have a true first ballot Hall of Famer, A-list celebrity, someone that is so recognizable, a huge draw for AEW. And then you have CM Punk also making his in-ring debut. It's crazy, isn't it?
Care to elaborate?
Yeah, Paul White. Paul White is all those things I just proclaimed. And then you have CM Punk, who's also there. Great. Yeah.
Kevin, that's freaking horrible. I can't even. I don't want to give you anything with that. That's terrible. As a bit, I don't want to stand for that. Like I'm all good to do these bits screaming at Xavier Woods' personal history and the tape and all this kind of stuff we've been yelling about for 2 hours. That, though, Kevin, there are lines you don't cross. Okay, I'm willing to cross some lines as far as making content entertaining just for these people. But that, too far. So anyway, Punk, Darby Allin, I'm predicting Phil Brooks gets the win over Darby Allin. Darby's going to look like a star in this match. Some people on Twitter will probably say Punk's not putting over the future because he didn't get his shoulders pinned. Son so in the middle of the ring. But yeah, Punk got the win, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, Paul White's on a Netflix show. He's mainstream, bro. But nevertheless, yeah, people are going to complain. There'll be a small portion of the audience that just freaks out when Punk wins, like maybe 3% of AEW's fan base, maybe even less than that, 1%.
Yeah, I don't think really anyone from the AEW fan base will say that. They'll just be like, oh my God, Punk's so good for making Darby look like a star in this match. But even though if this was a WWE match and a wrestler makes someone else look really good, but ends up winning the match and pinning said wrestler, it's a burial because they lost the scripted, predetermined match on a fake TV kids show. But yeah, anyway, go.
I'm now being called an E-drone. What did I do to be called an E-drone? What did I do, pal? Yeah, so Punk is going to beat Darby Allin clean. There's no ifs, ands about it. I don't see any other way that the outcome is not Punk winning. It would just be silly. Like, that would be an all-time classic WWE move. You build a pay-per-view around a guy coming back to their hometown, like Cena a few years back when they went to Boston and they just beat him 1, 2, 3. Like, no, I don't see how that happens. Punk's going to beat Darby. Darby will come out looking better than he did before because he wrestled with Punk, and Punk's going to elevate him. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be good. They'll probably run it back on an episode of Dynamite in like 3 or 4 weeks after the show. And Darby will get his win over Punk, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, like I can see that big stadium show in New York. They do Punk Darby 2. They do probably Bryan versus Omega for like, I guess, 1-on-1 or something like that. They probably do Lucha Bros Young Bucks, like the final battle or something. And really just they get probably like 3 or 4 like big matches on that show, and they make it like a stacked show. Like if they do like what I've just said on paper there, that's a stacked show. Not AW Dark featuring Sean Spears versus Matt Sydal. That's not a stacked show, but yeah, should be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. So I'll ask you to close out before we talk about NXT.
Oh God Almighty!
In totality, pal, what do you think about this all-out show? Are you like on a scale of 1 to 10? What's your hype level? Do you think it's going to be a great show? Where are you at?
I'm at a 6.5. I'm not like an 8+ or anything. I'm not like, oh my God. Like I'm literally looking at my watch, counting down the seconds and the minutes and the days until September 5th, or for me, September 6th, when it goes live on pay-per-view. But for me, I'm genuinely interested in seeing Punk. I'm genuinely interested in seeing if they'll have Daniel Bryan show up at the end of Omega Christian, because I think it's a very real possibility. I'm interested to see whether they have Adam Cole show up, or maybe Bray Wyatt shows up potentially. So there's a number of possibilities for this show, which has me interested in looking out to see what they do. So generally, Kevin, I'd say about a 6.5 or about there. Well, what would you say, Kevin? Walk us through that.
Yeah, I'd probably say like a 7. I'm intrigued, obviously, in Punk and Darby Allin. I'm intrigued in Pac versus Andrade, Jericho versus MJF to an extent. Definitely looking forward to the tag team steel cage match. And yeah, then the women's match will be good, and I'm looking forward to Omega and Christian. So that's like 6 matches there that are pretty good. You look at All Out 2020 and you compare the 2 cards. Oof, man, this one is like night and day, bro. This is it's night and day, honestly.
Kevin, in the nicest way possible, I hate All Out 2020 with a burning passion. That show is AEW's worst show they've ever put on. And no one can tell me otherwise. You had Matt Hardy nearly killing himself on pay-per-view, then being told, no, go out there and finish the match, as he didn't know where he was because he had a crippling CTE head injury concussion. You had everyone thinking Kenny Omega would turn heel on Page, and all we got was Omega just walking through the backstage area. You had everyone thought MJF could potentially win the world title, and Moxley just won. It was just you had.
Don't forget their biggest mainstream star taking a mimosa bath too, pal.
Of that, you had the dentist fight where Britt Baker's punching big swollen dentist surgery to open the show. You had like the Young Bucks in a 20-minute match versus Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. It was just a horrible show. And people were like, oh, it was a really good show. I'm like, if that's a really good show, your definition of what's really good is so objectively far off the mark. It's not funny. But anyway, Kevin, I'm getting sidetracked. This year's All Out should be much better than last year's one. Not that that's hard. All they need to do is just not have a wrestler nearly kill himself on pay-per-view from CTE, and they'll be all good to go.
And I'll ask you quickly, who's going to win the Casino Battle Royal?
Who cares?
All right, so I'll give my prediction. I'll say Thunder Rosa. Yeah, Thunder Rosa is gonna win. I don't see how anybody else can possibly win. If it's not Thunder Rosa, we riot. I'm gonna tweet about her. I'm gonna mention her, and she's gonna retweet me about how AEW is not using her correctly. So we want Thunder Rosa.
Wait, Abaddon isn't even in this match. Has she like been released? Like, what's happened? Like,
I have no idea. Now, realistically, though, Anna Jay will win in her big in-ring return, pal. That
I really hope so.
countless simps are waiting on, pal. So
yeah, all these people like, oh my god, I wish I was Anna Jay getting to kiss Jungle Boy. Like all these people, just.
Oh, we have Kiara Hogan too. She's gonna be there. Everyone's favorite wrestler from Impact, pal. She'll be there too. So.
Yeah, see, I think in this match, I mean, I'm putting my money on Amy Sakura, pal. Amy Sakura is getting the W, pal. The W.
There you go. My favorite AEW wrestler of all time, Tay Conti, is also in this match. She's by far
Ruby Soho, pal, as Ishan says. Ruby Soho. What about that?
Tay Conti is by far and away my favorite wrestler in the history of AEW. She's the only reason why I watch. She's the big draw for me, pal.
Well, that's transphobic. Having Nyla Rose not be the reason you watch the division. Kevin, are you saying you're a transphobe right here on stream? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm gonna duck that one like a politician.
Okay, well, Kevin, Nyla Rose is my favorite wrestler in this match objectively. If you say otherwise, there's legitimately something wrong with you. So, with that said, Kevin, that's AEW All Out. Unless you have any closing words about this amazing pay-per-view we've got coming up on September 5th, or for me, like 9 a.m. on September 6th in Australia. Unless you have anything else to say, Kevin, let's talk about NXT.
Yes, sir. Here we go. NXT. I just want to say
Kevin,
that
I gotta say this.
I just had to start with this. Triple H does not know great work rate since he let Tenara Conti out the door, pal. She had the best work rate to ever step foot in NXT's developmental system. So Triple H screwed that up. Ooh, she can't wrestle like Asuka. Ooh, but yeah. So
hey, hold up. No, the best work rate to ever enter NXT opened the show.
Conti, yes.
Last night. Mandy Rose, pal. You had Amanda Rose on NXT opening the show with a pristine work rate, and you're telling me Tay Conti is better work rate? Excuse me?
Tay Conti objectively delivers better drop kicks, pal. She's objectively better than Mandy Rose, pal. Let's ask the chat. Who's better, Tay Conti or Mandy Rose? You all decide.
Yeah, Tay Conti or Mandy Rose. Chat, give it to us. What do you think? What do you think?
I'm submitting my vote right now.
Oh, I'll put my vote in. So
Mandy Rose has the best work rate. Oh, come on, JB. Regal loves work rate, bro. Jeez.
JB has the right idea. Okay.
Tay Conti by a mile. Okay. Anonymous goat. There we go. Mandy Rose.
It's objectively Mandy Rose.
Jimmy Uso.
Objectively.
Mandy Rose showed her work rate.
Tay Conti, bro.
Yes, let's go, Brian.
How can you look at Mandy Rose's Instagram account and not say it's Mandy Rose? Come on.
You just hate Latinas. That's what it is, pal.
Come on. Where's the sportsmanship?
You're racist to me, bro. You don't like Latino people, and I'm your co-host. How
and
dare
you don't like Rhea
me,
Ripley because she's Australian? Okay.
I love Rhea Ripley. What do you mean? I can't wait for the storyline when she's singing "Congratulations" by Post Malone, and there's shots of dingoes and kangaroos high-fiving in the crowd, pal.
Kevin, I've heard your disgustingly racist comments on the stream about Rhea Ripley. Okay, Kevin, I've heard what you said. Kevin, I've leaked tapes and leaked DMs with disgusting evidence of what you said about my girl Rhea Ripley, pal.
Well, you're objectively against all Latino people. You hate Mexicans. That's why you pick the Young Bucks to win. You don't like Tenara Conti because she's Brazilian.
Mandy Rose has been wrestling for longer than Tay, therefore her work rate is more crisp. Exactly, Ishan. We're focusing purely on the in-ring, okay? There is nothing outside of the in-ring move execution as taught to them by Matt Bloom, William Regal in the Performance Center. Okay, Kevin, William Regal teaches crisp footwork for this business, okay?
God, imagine William Regal talking to Tenara Conti.
It's a beautiful drop kick by Tay Conti. Beautiful footwork, beautiful. I love it.
Mr. H, what do you think about this drop kick?
But Triple H. I think Tenaro Conti's footwork is not up to par. It's not as beautiful as the footwork of Adam Cole.
Mandy
Adam
Rose
Cole's
is
footwork is good.
better.
I think Matt Bloom deserves a pay rise. He needs to make more than my NXT superstars.
X-Pac is my consultant. He's going to teach wrestlers how to get heel heat.
Shawn Michaels loves Tammy Sitch.
I was there. I was helping protect Shawn Michaels from being caught by Chris Candido.
Imagine, this is BFB in chat, imagine Matt Bloom, Nick Khan, and William Regal fighting backstage. Okay, this leads us to the new point, Kevin.
Yes.
The new NXT, more like OVW. There's a look of the show that people are saying is a rip-off of AEW. Looks like Nickelodeon or like WWF from the 80s. I like the look of it. I did a video praising it. What are your thoughts, pal?
I hate the logo. I'll say that. I hate it. I think it looks terrible. But I am all for Nick Khan saving NXT. And he's going to make NXT great again. I believe in Nick Khan. I believe in him. We're going to have legitimate athletes and true potential-ridden superstars step foot through the Orlando developmental system. And it's going to be a great time. NXT is going to be fun to watch again. I hope they take it off the USA Network as well. And hopefully Nick Khan goes to Vince McMahon. It's like, pal, you're wasting millions and millions of dollars just trying desperately to take 200,000 viewers away from AEW. And Nick Khan says, you know what, Vince? Let those 200,000 people go back and watch AEW. Let's move NXT as a Peacock exclusive. Let's make it happen. I'm excited for the new direction of NXT. I remember when NXT was the darling of the internet. I was there when NXT was great. I remember watching. NXT used to be really good, man. It used to be so good, and I hope Nick Khan makes it great again.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, NXT, they went from the future. Like I look at NXT, the whole bit was that we are the future is now, what have you. The future of NXT, look at 2020 NXT. The future of that, okay, Finn Balor is the champion. Is he the future of the business when he's 40 years of age? Okay, the only thing Finn Balor's the future of at 40 years of age, NXT champion, is the future of the ICU ward at a Florida medical facility after his great match with Kyle O'Reilly.
The future of popping his nuts out, pal.
Bro, he's whipping out his testicles on Fox, bro. Ridiculous. But generally speaking, Finn Balor's the champion, and really just the general direction where you got Ciampa at like 37, Gargano's out there, you've got Cole, and all these guys, been there too long, time for a change. And what better way of turning the tide than our Lord and Savior, the visionary Nick Khan, who is pissing off all the people in the short term. In the long term, his vision is the way wrestling should, or at least the sports entertainment side of things, pal, should be operated in especially the next decade. Okay, Nick Khan is a long-term visionary. He's not worried about the people on Twitter with 300 followers calling him every horrible name under the sun right now. Nick Khan couldn't care less. He's counting up his dollar bills, opening briefcases with millions of dollars, handing it to Saudi prince. Like, that's what Nick Khan's doing. He's not concerned about the backlash now. He's taking WWE and NXT and the future of developmental into the mainstream, bro. He's about making Gable Stevenson into the next mainstream star. Parker Bordeaux, the next mainstream star. The new crop of performance center trainees who they were allegedly asked, do you identify as an indie wrestler? And they all said no, just to get a contract with WWE. That's the future of the business, pal. Okay? Nick Khan is the savior of this business. Kevin, I want to say this now. Objectively, you look at what Triple H has done with NXT. Triple H has done everything he can to ruin the future of this business. He's objectively done everything he can to drive away casual, regular fans who want to see larger-than-life, mainstream-type superstars. Triple H has done everything he can to drive them away. That way, you alienate that audience. You appease the smart, niche, loud vocal minority audience, so they're the only ones left. So by the time they're the only ones left, he can then take over when there's no one watching, and he can be the face and the head of WWE. It's Triple H's own personal agenda to take over on WWE. That's all NXT's been. People refuse to see it, and you've got fiending for followers and all these people on Twitter being, oh, OMG, F you, Nick Khan, how dare you. Nick Khan's doing what's best for business. It's ironic considering Triple H on the other end of that, but that's just face the facts. Cry. Triple H led NXT for 6 odd years. When Dusty Rhodes was there, it was objectively like decent to good. And then Triple H did some great indie wrestling in 2018 with a scrubbed up production. and WWE logos. And now what, Kevin? Now, where's NXT in the past year and a half? Where? In the dumpster? In the toilet? Where, Kevin? Okay, Nick Khan is the savior of this business, pal. He's the savior.
Yes, he is. Nick Khan, shout out to him. When Nick Khan is out there rummaging the nightclubs, looking for a talent, he's going to be talking to every bouncer out in downtown Orlando at all the clubs. That's what they used to do back in the day. Kevin Nash and Scott Hall were bouncers, bro. Batista was a bouncer. That's where you find talent. You hit the nightclub. Nick Khan, Bruce Pritchard, Vince McMahon, they're going to be hitting the nightclub with some bottles in the VIP section. They're going to be scoping out talent. They'll be looking at all the guys that are working the club. They're going to be watching guys beat people up that are just drunk, hitting on women, making everyone uncomfortable. They're going to be watching these bouncers throw these trash human beings out of the club. And Nick Khan is going to look at Bruce and Vince and say, that is the future of WWE, Vince. You know more of, you're not going to be going to with your son-in-law with William Regal to PWG shows scouting the next indie wrestling god. No more of that. No more scouting Adam Cole, Chris Hero, Kevin Owens. Enough of that. This is my way. We're going back to what worked back when WWE was popular, pal. That's it. They're gonna be going to strip clubs all across the nation looking for the next great wrestler that is bouncing at a strip club. You heard it here first.
I need to build on that point where Triple H constructed NXT that way for his own personal agenda to drive away the audience. Triple H is a smart man. He's been around the business his whole life. He knows that hiring the people he was hiring was never going to save the future of the business. Okay, Vince McMahon could see that clearly and made a conscious effort for 5 odd years to literally sabotage every single Triple H creation on the main roster because that format of superstar doesn't work. That format of developmental doesn't work. And Vince McMahon knows it. The people higher up, Bruce Pritchard knows it. So they've done everything they can to sabotage that and send a message to Triple H saying, you can do that. You can try and make our developmental system a mess. But at the end of the day, we're not falling for it. We're just going to make none of these guys stars on the main roster. The only mainstream star on our main roster is going to be Roman Reigns. F you, Paul Levesque. What you're doing is a joke. We're going to have Nick Khan, a business visionary, take over and completely save NXT. We're going to have like an OVW early 2000s type crop of talent with, you know, Gable and Parker and all these guys and a bunch of new trainees and signings. And you've got, I forget his name, the one from MLW, like Fatu, his cousin, and potentially Jonathan Fatu's coming in. Like all these people. Kevin, Triple H is just evil, pal. Evil.
Yeah, he's an evil man, pal. Yeah, I'm not even making this up to you guys in the chat, Elaine and Ishan. Go back and watch some guys like Edge. Edge was a bouncer. These guys were bouncers. That's where the wrestling stars of the Ruthless Aggression era and the Attitude Era were found, pal. They were bouncers, or they were the Samoan dynasty, like Jimmy and Jey Uso's brother. Hopefully, their brother doesn't hang out with Jimmy as much, but you know he's got potential to be the next big star in this great business. As long as he doesn't go to the bar in Pensacola with his old
bro. The next time a bouncer's escorting Jimmy Uso out of the club at 2:30 a.m. in the morning, let that bouncer be a pro wrestler, bro. Come on now. Like that bouncer's probably some 6'6" imposing individual who can cut great promos and loves this business, bro. Ridiculous.
Oh my god. This is great. This is
but
good
that's like Ishan, Sheamus is a bodyguard before being a wrestler. Exactly. Like Kevin, that's an amazing point. Okay, you notice how most of these mainstream wrestling stars were bouncers. Okay, these weren't guys who are honing their craft in front of 22 people in GQX wrestling in a garage fed in Cleveland, Ohio, like Johnny Gargano did.
Jeff Hardy
15 years. What?
Jeff Hardy was cut from that elk, wrestling in front of like 30 people before he became a mainstream star.
Kevin, but when he was doing that, he was 15 in like trampoline pro wrestling with Matt Hardy in the backyard in Carolina, and then he was a jobber at 16 in WWF. Like,
true,
you know,
that's true. Yeah,
like Jeff Hardy is a terrible example, Kevin. That is a terrible example.
Well, how many of these guys, when they come up to WWE and they have their gimmick and they're like quote unquote stars, and then you'll see Feeding for Followers post a picture of them like 17 years ago on a Velocity episode, or in the back getting kicked by Shawn Michaels, like what Ciampa he was Muhammad Hassan's lawyer like 15 years ago. Shawn Spears, MJF, Sheamus, I think was in a segment. Hell, our guy CM Punk. Like there's so many of these guys that got started as extras, and then Yeah, like some of them they were just like, oh, Vince was like, oh, damn it, he sucks. But then Jeff Hardy goes from like jumping on a trampoline with his older brother, and then he's lying about his age to Bruce Pritchard to get into a show to wrestle. Just goes to show you, pal.
Bro,
Get
Jeff
back there.
Hardy got a fake ID to prove to Vincent Kennedy McMahon that he was 18, bro. And then Scott Hall, the same guy who was being a bouncer for Shawn Michaels and Tammy Sitch in the shower, that guy beat him up on WWF Raw's War for 4 minutes in the middle of 1994. Bro, ridiculous.
I love that. I'm glad that bit stuck. The Tammy Sitch one. Jeez.
Bro, Tammy Sitch does not play basketball. I mean, seriously, bro.
Shawn Michaels stuck it to her, pal.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Hey. Okay.
What?
Just to make a quick disclaimer here at Elite Heat, we are all about complete, like, we don't discriminate at all. We don't make any rude comments. We don't make any, there's nothing intentional. Nothing mean is intended by that, Kevin. Kevin, please apologize.
Shawn Michaels was Xavier Woods before Xavier Woods. If Shawn Michaels, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Tammy Sitch were doing what they were doing backstage in 2012, if it was 2012 when you had them guarding the door to keep Chris Candido from finding out where his wife was, Shawn Michaels would have been the XXX star of WWE, pal. Just imagine 2012 Shawn Michaels. You got him. You take up. Sorry, 1995 Shawn Michaels. Throw him into 2012. He's got these leaked videos of Tammy Sitch and him, where you see Scott Hall in the background kicking out Chris Candido from the shower.
Oh my God!
Like just imagine that. Then Shawn Michaels, he goes out like 2 hours later after these videos are exposed, and he's on Raw yelling at Bret Hart, saying that there are sunny days in your future, pal.
God. Imagine Shane Douglas leaks like the backstage video of Chris Candido getting blocked out of the shower to try and get his wife. Like, like Shane Douglas on like 1997 kayfabe commentaries interviews, like shooting about how evil Shawn Michaels is. Now Shawn Michaels just he goes up and down the women's locker room. Shawn Michaels has no respect for the women of this business, and how you've got Jim Cornette doing interviews about how that's the way it should be, and then SJWs and everyone just blasting Jim Cornette, saying him death threats, and wrestling Twitter in 1997 breaks because Chris Candido couldn't get into the shower. Like what is this? Like,
Sean said Shawn Michaels read the work rate book, and then Xavier Woods got the book and found the right page. Work rate, pal.
Wow. No, the Sean's page is quite literally longer than Xavier Woods' page.
Shawn Michaels wrote the book, pal. Shawn Michaels wrote the work rate book.
Bro, Brad Maddox has better performance than Xavier Woods, bro. Terrible. Bro, Brad Maddox's in-ring work rate composure is next tier, bro. Brad Maddox is calm, he's composed, and he delivers in every performance, bro.
Just imagine you got Shawn Michaels, his counter to Shane Douglas blasting him. Shawn Michaels just goes out on live on Monday Night Raw in 1996, and he's like, I just turned down more money to make a porn video than you ever made in your entire career, Shane Douglas, than you will ever make wrestling for ECW for checks that don't even clear from Paul Heyman once I get you fired, pal.
Heyman's writing fake checks to try and get employees to stay and wrestle death matches for him in ECW. And Heyman's got like the Sandman's threatening to kill him on like shoot interviews. Oh my God. It's just, oh, Jesus Christ. You've literally got Shawn Michaels in 1996 on Raw cutting a shoot promo. Like Vince McMahon's on commentary, just trying to like go about the show. It's like a family-friendly directional product. Sean comes out there and is like, I've received 7-figure checks from add-on entertainment companies to be the face of the industry, 8-figure checks from Ted Turner to be the face of World Championship Wrestling. Vince, what are you doing for me? And they do like a live shoot segment on like WWF Raw. Like,
oh, that'd be great. Yeah, you have Shawn Michaels out there. You have instead of Shawn Michaels and Triple H doing a spliff of Bill Clinton addressing the nation. You got Shawn Michaels and Triple H reading a letter that Shawn got from an adult film company, offering him just millions of dollars for him and Sonny to reenact what they were doing backstage. That went viral.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, you got like shoot interviews with like D'Lo Brown, where he's like going through like vivid detail of what happened in the locker room. Like,
Yeah, D'Lo
Jesus
Brown
Christ.
talking about how he lost all respect for Shawn Michaels that day. How Chris Candido he had to hug Chris Candido and console him while he was crying because his marriage was falling apart and his wife was in love with another man.
You got Vince Russo like working for the magazine backstage, just trying to get an interview with like stunning Steve Austin for a bit of magazine content. As he's doing the interview, he hears like loud thumping in the shower. He doesn't even want to go near there. Like,
oh my god,
Jesus, it's just like no, I'm not gonna go there anyway. But yeah, all good. It's just basically the whole point of this. NXT's down bad, and Xavier Woods loves entertaining the masses, pal.
Yes, Xavier Woods. He has a second career, pal. Once his WWE days are over.
I mean, by then, God knows, can't be bothered to watch that. No chance. No.
No chance in hell. Damn
God damn it, pal. Oh, Xavier, you got performance issues, Xavier. Here's a push, pal. Here's a push.
Yeah, right. You got Vince handing Xavier Woods Viagra, pal.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Brad Maddox doesn't need it. You do, Xavier. Get out there, pal. Take a dripstick. Take a dripstick, Xavier. Spray wrestling gifts, pal. Spray them. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Spray gifts. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, you picture Vince McMahon and Gorilla screaming, not like Bruce Pritchard, being like, Vince, what are we going to do? We just had Edge and Rollins out there, Vince. What are we going to do? And then Vince is like, oh, damn it. Miz, get out there, pal. Get out there and spray with the dripsticks, pal. Oh, yeah. Oh,
he's yelling at Miz. Oh, yeah, get that guy wrestling gifts. He made a video saying that my WWE 2K20 sucked. Damn it. I'll spray him, damn it. That's what he gets for saying my WWE 2K20 video game sucked, pal.
God almighty. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Imagine that. Oh, Pav is in the audience, pal. Oh, he made a video complaining about me in the Ruthless Aggression era. He made a video about me saying the N-word to Booker T. Oh, damn it, pal.
Hey, O'Brien, please clip this and send this as gifts on Twitter. But yeah, like legit, it's just the whole thing is just, you know, Vince screaming. Like, we talked about this in the SummerSlam video, but the stream, but how are you going to have Johnny Sins' best black friend coming out there with a Dripstick 2000, angrily, passionately spraying moisture all over Pav and his girlfriend in the fourth row? I mean, bro, that is the content we're all dying for. Like, Superkick Studios traveled from an airport in Vancouver to SummerSlam in Las Vegas for that, pal. Horrendous.
Oh my god. I can't even breathe. I'm laughing so hard. Oh my god. Wow. Wow.
Okay, Ishan, hold up.
Yeah, I just read that comment.
Okay. No. We're a professional live stream. We're about wrestling analysis because that's proven to draw, isn't it? We're about entertaining the masses, pal. So yeah, come on.
Hey, Sean, unless you're talking about the time in 2010 at the NXT Performance Center, no, not even that, in FCW, when Matt Bloom was teaching Xavier Woods and Paige how to execute proper rest holds, that better be what you're talking about, pal.
No, my guy, he's referring to when William Regal was quite literally drooling watching Bobby Fischer's footwork in a tryout practice match against Austin Aries. William Regal's he's got his like notepad for his like scouting report. And he's literally just like he just drops his notepad. He's just in awe. He's just like watching the footwork of Roderick Strong, being like, oh, amazing footwork. Like that's William Regal in a nutshell, pal. It's very, very beautiful footwork. It's very beautiful. It's very crisp execution of the drop kick by Austin Aries. Beautiful execution.
Oh my god! All right, so is there anything else that you want to mention about the newly rebranded NXT?
I don't know. I guess the Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis wedding is going to be good. I'm looking forward to that. Mandy Rose is there, so that's good.
Can we be objective for a moment?
Mm-hmm.
Objectively, Indy Hartwell is the best thing in NXT. She's got the most talent, bell to bell. She's got the most charisma, the mic skills, bro. And it's proof that she's in the most talked about story in NXT, pal.
Bro, it's the most mainstream story in NXT, objectively. But also, Radar BFB says, talk about Karrion Kross, bro. Karrion Kross, Kevin, how would you describe his attire? He looks like a... I don't even... What do you think? Walk me through that.
He looks like... I think I said this to somebody. I don't remember who I said this to, but he looks like the character in Mortal Kombat that nobody plays with. Like just a random character that nobody knows their name. You know, like that's probably the way I would describe him. He's just there. He's in a bad Mortal Kombat crossplay. He's beating up midgets. Who did he beat up? Hubbard, was it Carrillo?
Humberto. He beat up Humberto. Yes.
Yeah, he beat up a guy that's better than Eddie Guerrero, according to some idiots on Twitter. And yeah, that's what he's doing now. So I tried to watch Raw. I don't know if you saw my tweets, but I tried to watch Raw last week, and I fell asleep as soon as your favorite wrestler came out and started praising Nikki Ash. And then I wake up like an hour and a half later to carrying across just squashing a midget, pal.
Bro, he looks like a samurai going through a sex change. I mean, that's what he looks like. It's just, I don't know. I don't buy it, Kevin. He comes out there wearing that mask, like a Mortal Kombat samurai mask, and the Scarlet isn't there, and it's like, oh, okay.
Oh, that's the other thing. Like, where's Scarlet? Scarlet is the star of that duo. I said this. I think I said this to you on stream. Scarlet's the star of that duo. Like, he's Mark Merrow without Scarlet. It's over. You need Scarlet there. Like, why is Scarlet not out there showing her work rate? I don't understand.
Yeah, exactly. And then you'll have. I mean, I remember back with Mark Merrow, it was like they did the whole Mark Merrow. I think Merrow feud with Jared in '98 from memory, and they had the whole storyline. Like every week would be like before Mark Merrow can like actually start a match, Sable would like kick him in the nuts and storm out. Then like Jeff Jarrett would hit him with a guitar and pin him. Like, is that going to be the fate for Karrion Kross? Are we going to have like Karrion Kross out in the ring, and then you'll have like Humberto low blowing him, hitting him with a guitar and pinning him every week? Like, come on now.
Ridiculous, bro. Just ridiculous.
So yeah, do you have anything else to really go through? I mean, we covered it. Chat real quick if you want us to really talk about anything. Next like 30 seconds, give us some content because yeah, I mean we covered AEW. Kevin, you seem like you're over the moon. You're ecstatic. You get your AEW plushies and block dolls ready for a big night on September 5th.
Yeah, I got my Mattel Edition 3 Cody Rhodes action figure, pal.
What happened to that guy, like Heel Phenomenal on Twitter? Was that the one? The one who tweeted a bunch of kinky stuff about Ziggler usually.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
Is he still around?
I saw him. He posted something about Sasha Banks, like being the trash can that was floating around in New Orleans.
Oh yeah.
And I quickly corrected him.
Because I mean, he was the one who tweeted. I never forget. Can some tweets just stick with you? I never forget. I opened up my timeline once, just a casual. I go back from the gym. I opened up my timeline. The first thing I see is him tweeting, "OMG! I just came on my Mandy Rose action figure." I was like, "Okay, close the timeline. Let's go off Twitter already." You know? Yeah,
that's it for Twitter. I don't remember that one. Thank you for enlightening me. Yeah. Yeah, I do remember one where he said that Kenny Omega is like breedable. Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, so chat, please, God, give us something. This is just horrid content.
Hey, why don't we talk more about Paige and Xavier Woods' 5-star classic, pal?
Kevin, we're going to be mentioning that in every stream for the next 4 months, okay? Well, there's going to be chat. Trust, there's going to be plenty of Paige, Xavier Woods, Brad Maddox content.
Yeah, that's I mean, arguably the best triple threat match in wrestling history, though.
Brad Maddox carried the performance. I will say that. Brad Maddox is an underrated star. Like you think from when he got when he low blowed Ryback at Hell in a Cell 2012, and this guy's pretty mid. But I mean, he proved in that one performance that this guy has a little something. So yeah, it was a decent performance. Xavier Woods was a bit underwhelming.
Okay, we got something that we can talk about. Let me say this too before I forget. Brad Maddox he's well adept in across every asset of sports entertainment. He can work the camera. He can get in the ring and perform. You know, he can talk. He's very good at coming up with finishes for matches.
Oh my god!
Brad Maddox can do it all, pal. But now that we got an actual topic here to talk about.
Clip that. Someone please clip what Kevin just said, please. I want to say that on Twitter in the next hour. Thank you. Anyway, go on. You
and I have not discussed this. So, Sports Fan says, what is your opinion on the Nia Jackson Charlotte Flair match? You can start with this one. Go ahead, pal.
I loved it. I thought it was genuinely entertaining. I thought seeing Nia Jax like flailing and punching Charlotte in the face for real and like slapping Charlotte, I thought it was legitimately entertaining. And the best part of it is neither of them will get any kind of comment backstage from it because it's a Flair and it's an Anna Y, so yeah, they can go scot free. I thought we need to see more stuff like that. Like I'd love to see in the middle of a match Roman Reigns this Friday just shoots on Finn Balor and just hits like legitimate elbow strikes. Kidding, but yeah, no, I thought I enjoyed it. What do you think?
I saw the clip and I was like half asleep when I first saw it, and I was like, wait, what happened? And then I watched it again. And I was like, oh, I see. Nia Jax is legitimately shoot punching Ric Flair's daughter on live television. And I was in shock. I didn't even know how to react. It's one of those moments where you're watching it thinking, if this was literally just about anybody else on the roster, aside from maybe Brock Lesnar, he'd get away with it. Somebody would be getting fired. Like, eventually, at some point, there's going to have to be some kind of accountability for those two girls. Because it's not just Nia. Everybody piles on Nia. Yes, Nia is unsafe. She injures people, yes. But Charlotte, when she wants to, she'll sandbag people. She won't sell. She'll be impossible to work with. Like,
most girls do intentions for the giving. You gone? Continue.
It's just, yeah, like, it was good. I mean, it's good, exciting stuff. It was the most exciting talking point from Raw by far. Watching The Rock's cousin just punch Charlotte Flair in the face for real. I thought it was good. I enjoyed watching that. And part of me wanted to see her keep beating up Charlotte. I was like, yeah, beat her up, injure her, pal, break her nose.
Oh my. Oh wow.
I'm a barbarian, pal.
No, Karen Cross is a barbarian, pal.
Oh
wow.
Xavier Woods is a barbarian, pal.
Oh yeah. Triple X Woods, he's a barbarian.
Brad Maddox, like I said, he can work the camera and he can perform, pal.
Yeah, Brad Maddox, you talk about a 5'-tall player. Brad Maddox, he can do it all. And the fact that I saw slander towards the name of Brad Maddox, okay? Brad Maddox, I want Brad Maddox to be like a hero in the Elite Heat channel. Like, Brad Maddox is a cult figure for Elite Heat. Brad Maddox is...
I'm about to tweet this out right now. Let's see how this goes over. I'm going to live tweet now. Brad Maddox is a 5-tool player in the wrestling business.
I mean, wrong business, but yeah, go on.
He can perform. He can work the camera. Come up with good, exciting finishes.
Oh my god. That's probably tweet of the year.
Finishes to matches. Well, what is the fourth and fifth tool that he's good with tag team matches.
Yep, good with tag teams and
It is great and it has good charisma in front of the camera.
I was gonna say he's an expert working the stick.
Yeah, there you go. It is great on the stick. There we go. Let's see how that tweet goes over. That's good content, pal. So yeah, you were saying about Nia Jax punching Ric Flair's daughter, pal.
Oh, just Nia Jax don't look like most girls who only say just what they're given, like a plastic little, I don't know what the lyrics are. But yeah, I guess I'll just, for the memes, we just got to appreciate the greatness of Nia. What a song. Playing just under that 8-second mark, so we don't get a copyright claim or a strike. Just a little bit of a tip for all you aspiring video makers. You keep your clips under about 7.5 seconds. That's my personal experience. People who try and put 10+ second clips, I've seen some people put like 45-second clips, just no editing, nothing. And then when they get a strike, they bitch and moan about getting a strike. It's like, dude, you put a 40-second clip. But anyway, Kevin, that's a side note.
Here we go, pal. Brian has tagged us in a tweet, so let's see what he clipped. Let's see. Let's hear it.
That's arguably the best triple threat match in wrestling history, though. Brad Maddox carried the performance, I will say that. Brad Maddox is an underrated star. Like, you think from when he got when he low-blowed Ryback at Hell in a Cell 2012, well, this guy's pretty mid. But he proved in that one performance that this guy has a little something. So yeah, it was a decent performance. Xavier Woods was a bit underwhelming.
Okay, we got something that we can talk about. Let me say this too before I forget. Brad Maddox he's well adept across every asset of sports entertainment. He can work the camera. He can get in the ring and perform. He can talk. He's very good at coming up with finishes for matches. Brad Maddox can do it all, pal. But now we got an actual topic here to talk about.
That might be
that
a
is
best
great,
tweet. That
pal.
might be a best tweet this year. I won't lie. Brad Max is a fighter playing the wrestling business. He can perform, work the camera. Or you should say work the hard cam. Come up with a good and exciting finishes to matches. Has great tag team matches. He's a great tag team performer, and is great on the stick or with the stick or whatever. Oh Jesus!
Oh God. Jeez. What was the other bit that? Oh, we got to talk about WWE 2K22 and the fact that our favorite wrestler wrestling gifts. I'll ask everybody in the chat. Do you guys want to do a live watch along right now? Do you have time for this? Can we do a live watch along of our favorite YouTuber doing a look back at WWE 2K20?
Oh Jesus Christ! Can we not make this like premium Elite Heat OnlyFans content, pal? Like, I reckon people would pay money to hear you yell about Pav, like, not. Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it, pal. Everybody wants to do it, so.
I guess, the chat wants it, so we'll oblige. We're simps for the chat, pal.
Let me just let me just give like a classic rant about this. So, yeah.
Jesus Christ. I don't even know. The fact that this chat is spamming right about now.
In the room. Hold on.
LMAO, yeah, LMAO. Can we just touch on this? I think this is going to become an Elite Heat bit, this whole Dynamics thing.
All right, my puppy is here for the rest of the show. Okay, so, yeah, where was I? Oh, so, yeah, we got our boy Pav, a.k.a. Wrestling Gifts, made a video about the worst video game of all time, pal. He tortured himself. Shout out to him for making this video. I couldn't imagine having to play 2K20 for content. He's a better man than all of us, pal, isn't he?
I mean, Pav is just an exceptional individual. Like, when he gets added to a Twitter group chat that he clearly doesn't want to be in, he still is civil and still obliges. So, yeah.
Oh, my God. All right, here we go, pal. Y'all ready? Yeah, everybody got Pav's new video up?
Let's go. We're watching.
All right, here we go. Live watch along. I'm starting it now.
Oh, my.
And it's titled, "It's been almost 2 years since the apocalypse began." That's the caption we get from Pav.
God, this botch compilation is insane.
Yeah, look at all the botches here. You have Rey Mysterio, God. Jeez, look at that one.
Am I watching WWE2K20 or AEW?
Oh! You got Kofi Kingston doing the moonwalk. That's great.
Jesus.
An invisible wrestler is just beating up another man.
WWE 2K20 was released in October of 2019, and life has never been the same. The game that was so bad that IGN...
This game started the pandemic.
The game that was so bad that it has a 1.6 on Metacritic.
Wow.
The reason I'm in a COVID lockdown is 2K20.
They even had to delay the one after.
My God.
This game was cancer. This game was disgusting. And honestly, this game probably started COVID. That's how fucked.
Hey!
You name a glitch.
You saw my bit, Pav.
For a fact that someone's console probably blew up after playing this game. This game is simply infamous. Going into 2K20, I thought we were out of the dark ages. I thought we were clear. It was all clear skies ahead. I'm like, yo, it's been 5 years since 2K15. The games are actually solid now because every year the WWE 2K games were improving, and 2K19 was one of the best games ever. But no. Apparently,
it's King Booker. Oh, we got to talk about that too after we do this live watch along of Pav. We got to talk about King Booker.
I'll get his head. This game straight up looks like a mobile game. This game's graphics look like a blind priest.
WWE, why is it always has to be drunk? Are you pro alcoholics? Okay.
Kevin, you drinking right now? Question mark. No, not yet. What is it? Wednesday? Tuesday? I don't know. I drink every day.
Kevin, you obviously know what day it is. It's Wednesday. You know what that means? AEW Dynamite.
Hey. What's up, BWE? We're live watching Pav's new video, pal.
We watch Pav's video. Our viewers go from 9 to 15 like right away. Wrestling Gifts is a draw, pal.
He's a bigger draw than Adam Cole, pal.
Yeah, if we go to Adam Cole, we get 9 viewers. So Wrestling Gifts, we get 15.
If Pav showed up on AEW Dynamite, he would break Pro Wrestling Tees, pal. Oh, you don't like Pav? My dog is let out a growl. You guys hear that?
Your dog doesn't like Pav. Your dog has no taste in wrestling YouTubers.
For real? No, it's because I'm her favorite wrestling YouTuber.
I thought your dog's favorite YouTuber was the Swerve
Since
Show.
the year 1999, the mainline WWE
Who?
THQ/2K games have been
Sorry, yeah,
that
that could get you. That could get you blocked for the third time. Sorry.
Our childhood. And yes, even in 2K15.
Here we go,
but
pal.
through the ups and
Back
downs,
to our
God,
boy
actually,
Pav.
and they were clearly passionate about making wrestling games.
All
These
the direction of
individuals
this video
would
is
sit
like,
in those
here's the
studios
passion of the
with action
developers,
figure
here's how
dogs,
great the
trying to
games were.
push
Now look
stuff
at this
the game.
bum
They
ass
love
mess.
wrestling and they love
For
wrestling
real.
games. But as the years went on, the passion kind of died down.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you notice how like we're what 4 minutes into the video and he has not talked about 2K20 at all.
Making games that they didn't want to make. They
The
simply
video is
got
also
bored
just
of
like
making
the
wrestling
downfall of
games
2K games and 2K20 is like
not because
awesome.
they didn't want to make wrestling games, but because
Oh god,
2K
Jay
wanted
Rance
to make
quote
their
tweeted my
wrestling
tweet
games
about
the
Brad
same way.
Maddox.
Dukes wanted to do their
Oh,
own thing.
God.
They wanted to wow down, explore, and take risks and honestly have fun. But they were kind
Hey,
of forced
whoa,
to
come on, you don't like
think
Pav?
the same way. Yet
Your
they still
dog doesn't.
accept
Bro,
the
Kevin's dog hates
Pav,
Pav, bro. Your dog hates Canadians, bro. Terrible.
It wasn't
You
what
want me
they
to turn
wanted.
off Pav?
Ukes got tired of 2K. 2K got tired of Ukes. So 2K was like, all right,
¿Qué pasó?
we don't need you. And
¿Qué
Ukes
quieres?
was like, all right, bet. So Ukes left after
What did you
making
call me?
WWE 2K19. And 2K, well, they
Huh?
gave visual concepts free
What
rein
did you
to
just call me?
develop 20. And this is the
I
funny
gotta
part.
talk to my
I
dog
remember
in
this.
Spanish,
Fans
bro. She
were
doesn't
happy.
understand
They were
English.
Bro, you were
so
yelling at me in
happy
Spanish,
that Ukes
bro.
left. They wanted change and they
¿Qué
got it.
quieres?
They were
¿Qué pasó?
so happy that Ukes was leaving. I vividly remember seeing these posts. Only if you idiots knew
¿Qué
what
pasó?
was coming. So take this in. 2K19 was developed by a company that made wrestling games for almost 20 years, and 20 was going to be developed by a company.
Kevin's
that
dog
makes
is
wrestling
xenophobic
games.
against
It
Canucks.
has
I
kind of
can't. It's
assisted
VWE. I
WWE
can't.
for
No,
years.
no,
It didn't sound too
no.
What did
Kevin,
VW
your dog's
say?
xenophobic. Cancel Kevin's dog.
Oh, God.
There was no information coming out. No
Kevin, your dog. Yes, right. Bark. You're racist. Okay. Yeah. Cop that.
Didn't get the roster reveal until 15 days before the game.
Yeah,
was going
shut
to
up, Kevin's dog.
When they did reveal the roster,
Didn't ask. I'm like Twitter. Didn't ask. Cry.
All right.
Yeah. Keep barking.
Look like this.
Come on,
First of all, every wrestler in this game looks depressed.
Don't disrespect Pav like that. Bark some more.
Bailey looks like she has some neck disease, and Becky. This Becky.
All right, I'm back, pal.
definitely
Gotta
fell
get
back
she.
into
She
bed.
don't like
looks
Pav. She gotta
in
go,
GTA
pal.
5.
Get your dog escorted off the premises for that, pal.
Yeah, this is my next tweet. Live tweeting right now.
It gets even worse. This is
If-
supposed to be a Rock. No.
if
this
your
is
girl
not The Rock. This is Vin
doesn't
Diesel.
like-
Why is Vin Diesel in this game and not The Rock? And can someone
At
please,
Wrestling
I'm
Gifts?
begging you, can you please tell me why they painted on?
Does he have? Is he on Twitter? What is his
Yes.
Twitter handle?
It's at Wrestling
Oh, here we
Gifts.
go. If your girl doesn't like at Wrestling Gifts videos,
Kevin, thoughts on the Mets GM getting a DUI?
Oh, God. who said that?
That's Brian.
Do we have to go on a Mets rant?
No, we're in a peaceful headset watching some Pav.
Hey, I'll go on a Mets rant. Remind me at the end of the stream. I'll go on a Mets rant. I'll address all the Mets crap. So I know you and I haven't talked about this, Brian.
Oh, ads in 2, 1. Here we go. I'm watching ads for Pav. Okay. Pav, I'm giving you ad revenue right now. Be grateful. Pav, I'm watching an ad about Toyota cars in Australia for you, Pav. Pav, I'm watching a woman talk to me about voice commands on Google Plus, Pav. Come on now. Come on now, Pav. Leveraging AI. Pav, this is what I do for your content, okay? This is to get you upwards of that. God knows you make a year revenue. Okay?
Oh my God. I'm watching the ad too. I skipped it though.
Oh, well, hey, Pav. Your boy Kevin Garcia is not giving you ad revenue. He's not a real one.
We got pink tight Scott Hall, pal.
Missing features and modes, graphics looking like this was meant to be played on a potato.
Bro, that guy's got his head where Brad Maddox put his head. Jesus Christ.
Oh God.
Released and day one we knew that this
Oh,
was
God.
What is saying? Oh my! This is some of these glitches are just something.
8 of them, and they fixed stuff, but the game was way too broken to be ever truly enjoyed.
This is good. This video's gonna get like 500,000 views. This gift video. Like,
when the clock hit midnight and the year changed from 2019 to 2020, WWE 2K.
I love how when Gifts was like, "Hey, I'm about to hit 100,000 subs. Like this, like Super Bowl for YouTubers. What video can I do to tick us over the landmark? I'll do a look back at WWE 2K20, the worst game ever made."
I did not play this game.
That's what he wants to do to get to 100K, pal. We're helping Pav get to 100K.
you don't do anything but I look back at 2K. Pav, my guy, Pav. You flew to SummerSlam to watch Xavier Woods tug off a dripstick, and now you're doing this.
Oh, I remember that. BW, your video, your dog was going crazy.
2K20 installed, and it was time. It was finally time.
Right, love BFB. The real one loves audio, bro. Okay, don't be mean to the real one. The real one likes AW. Leave him alone.
Almost 2 years, I played this game.
Trying to see Page versus Brad Maddox with Xavier Woods in a pillow fight. BWA, there's been more than just a pillow fight involving them. It's fine.
We're 8 minutes in, and Pav is talking about 2K20 now. We're 8 minutes into a 13-minute long video, and he's just now talking about 2K20.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the roster is solid, and the matches are all here.
That's the kind of time wasting you expect from YouTube with 120,000 subs now.
They had to mess everything up. They could only
10K views in 6 hours, pal.
This game has
Damn.
the controls for a wrestling game.
He's gonna pass my Roman Reigns every title defense rank video for views very soon. I like that.
2 buttons for a finisher in a simulation game. Placing weapons is
Look at the reply I just got on my tweet about Pav. So, our boy M2, he says, F it, I'm straight, but if no girls like him, I'll find a man who will. Well then.
Kevin, that Brad Maddox tweet might be the best tweet all year.
Yeah.
That one's up there with my blunt description of what the Miz is doing with the dripstick in Dallas.
The work rate on my tweet was good. It was crisp.
Very good worker. I think a couple of things could have just been tweaked a tiny bit, but generally a late tweet.
Elite tweet. There we go, pal.
Late tweets, pal. We're going to late tweets.
The elitist loves LED screens, bro.
I know what we're going to call this stream. Stuff the All Elite Wrestling Super Show. We're calling this All Elite Hate.
All Elite Heat, pal.
Yep, this is All Elite Hate, episode 1. Edit.
Oh, God. What are we watching?
What?
This 2K20 is an utter train wreck. I can't believe, I don't know how he went through this, bro.
People were defending that game as well.
I know. Oh, it got better after launch.
Yeah, this is an All Elite Hate episode 1.
There we go. That's what we need, Brian. Make a Twitter account. Out of context Elite Heat. That's what we need, pal.
Kevin, Brian said we need to start a Twitter account. I think we do need to start a Twitter because it's a bit all over the place.
What do you mean?
It's like I randomly tweet about a stream. You'll randomly tweet something one day. I'll randomly post a video. There's no structure to it. We need an Elite Hate Twitter account, and we can retweet Brian's out of context tweets.
Take that marker.
I'm down with it.
Your grandmother's nursing home and cross out.
Hey, Elitist, whether there's Indie Harwell appreciation tweets, I'm keeping the Indie Harwell content to myself. Like, I don't need that content.
Yeah, you subscribe to Indie Harwell's OnlyFans, pal.
Yeah, it's better value for money than the $25 a month OnlyFans that someone else is offering. So,
bro, the responses on this Brad Maddox tweet is just iconic. I love it.
What are you gonna do? Hit me with a steel chair?
I'm going to get help.
The memes. I've never seen some of these memes.
You know what? Let me know. Leave a comment below so I can just give you a hug.
Oh, Wrestling Gives trying to plug his comment section. I see.
We need help if you enjoyed this. I know there's still an active.
All right, Pav. I'll leave you a comment, pal.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I'll comment through the Elite Hate account, pal. We love you, Pav.
Shout out to you for going through it all and playing this horrible game. And playing this horrible game for the love of content. For this business, bro.
I still wouldn't find myself playing this game. Sure, the game is playable.
WWE 2K22 is as unpolished as
the controls suck. The gameplay is slow again.
Brad Maddox's online entertainment career.
There are barely any modes to play. There's nothing fun to do here. This game has no reason to exist, and I can't.
Oh my god!
All the WWE games we grew up with and played, we reached a point where the game was so bad they had to skip a year. I don't know if the series can ever recover from this. I mean,
yeah, I'm commenting WWE 2K20 is unpolished as Brad Maddox's in-ring ability.
If they can ever reach 2K19 levels again, sure, the graphics in the trailer for
you love it, pal.
Look fine, it looked good, but I'm not falling for this again. 2K20 was that
Hey,
bad.
so
Yeah,
remember that
Pav
glitch?
will not be clickbaited by good trailers, bro. You tell him, Pav.
Remember that glitch where the ref was thrusting in Charlotte? That wasn't a glitch. 2K just wanted to represent Brad Maddox in the game somehow.
I'm dead.
Well, technically that referee, yes, that was Brad Maddox, but that was Charlotte and not Paige there, John.
After an abomination like this, like, I don't know if there's ever any.
Could you imagine though if like I mean, like we're getting that much content out of this this one page Brad Maddox Xavier Woods thing. Imagine like all the like backstage wrestling, all the time stuff like that happened, but it's not been leaked. Imagine if we got that all leaked and we knew about all that stuff, like how much content there would be.
Oh my god. I would have made a clickbait video. I would have done like a review of Xavier Woods versus Paige, pal.
God. Bro, here's an exclusive footage of Randy Orton and Kelly in the locker room in 2009, bro. Like,
Oh my
you
god.
call it like Randy Orton's darkest hour, and then the thumbnail's like Randy Orton looking like all timid as Kelly's like in the background like crying.
Pal, are you watching ads for our boy Pav?
The video's over for me, pal.
I got an ad after the video.
You better watch
all
the whole video, or else you don't care about Pav.
All right, so we gotta talk about the Booker T comments.
Yeah.
About what Booker T. So what did he? So he said two things that got wrestling Twitter very angry at him.
Oh, okay.
The first one was when he said that CM Punk made a massive mistake by doing what everybody expected him to do and mentioning WWE in his promo in AEW. And then what was the other thing? He said that Adam Cole was making a mistake. Adam Cole should stay in WWE, try to capitalize on that brand, become a star, and then do what he did when he's out of his prime and just go cash checks from another second-rated company. So, Which one do you want to talk about first, pal?
Well, I think I don't really know which one to analyze first, but all I can contribute is that Booker T is just an evil human being for having an opinion. Can I just put that out there? Booker T, how dare he? How dare Booker T deviate from the norm, Kevin? F him. He's terrible.
Yeah, how dare he use his platform and as somebody that's been there backstage, wrestled for this business, how dare he use that experience to have good collective talking points, pal?
Yep. As Brian said, Brian, yep. Thoughts on WrestleMania being 2 nights again next year? Big W. I'm a big fan of that idea. I think the 2-night Mania is the best way to go. More content for everyone, more spread out. It's less in-your-face content. I know, Brad Maddox loves in-your-face content, but yeah, it's less in-your-face content generally. So
yes, yeah. I am going to Texas for Mania, bro. That is correct.
Oh, you get to see the Miz versus Logan Paul 1-on-1 for the battle of the mainstream stars.
Absolutely. The more A-list celebrity, bro. But yeah, is that you don't want to? So you wait before we go on. You don't want to address the Booker T comments at all? Do you have anything else you want to say?
I just don't give a damn. I don't care. Like Booker T is getting a bit of clout because he said something that deviated from the norm. Like, okay, whatever. Yeah,
it goes back. It really goes back to our point that we talked about, where we just mentioned how AEW is like their Twitter fan base is really off-putting in a lot of respects.
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it.
That's part of it when you're calling out a legitimate B-list legend in WWE history, and you're berating him for having an opinion. It's ridiculous, bro.
Also, Kevin, I want your thoughts. Okay, speaking of A-list mainstream stars, Jake Paul beat Tyron Woodley. I want your Kevin, I want your honest thoughts on Jake Paul.
I respect the hell out of him for what he's doing for boxing. He's getting a lot of people paid. And yeah, he's doing good things, man, putting on entertaining shows. He's doing what boxing doesn't want to do, since the real sport of boxing, the WBO and the other organizations, will not do what Jake Paul is doing and put entertaining fights on. I can't hate on him for doing just that and getting people paid, man. Good.
Absolutely. Yeah, I commend it immensely. Obviously, all the hates, well, he hasn't fought a real boxer. It's like, that's not the point. The point is he makes you want to see his fights to see him get punched. That's the whole point. He's doing ridiculous pay-per-view numbers because he knows how to monetize attention. It's brilliant. So yeah, I commend Jake highly. It's fun to hate the guy, but I respect him immensely, honestly. So yeah.
Yeah, I have nothing but respect for the guy. Absolutely, and he got his sparring partner paid. Got him a fight with Tyson Fury's younger brother, bro. And yeah, I mean, what else can you ask for, man?
And now he's retired allegedly, which he's not.
No, he came back out of retirement. He announced.
Oh yeah, that's a 1-day retirement. All good.
Yep. Yeah,
All good.
I remember people were saying, "Oh, Tyron Woodley punched him into retirement." I will say though, Tyron Woodley really, he leveled him, bro. That was a hit. That was a really good hit. That one punch that Tyron Woodley landed.
Yeah. And then you got outboxed for about 7 other rounds. Which is
Yeah,
just,
basically.
yeah. All good. But yeah,
I was freaking out because I was gonna put money on Tyron Woodley. I was gonna catch the under, pal, bet on the underdog.
oh dear.
And I was freaking out when he almost knocked him out. I was like punching myself, like, damn, I should have bet money, but good thing at the end it all worked out, and I did not put money on it. So there we go.
Yeah, all good. Radar BFB. Thoughts on the Mets, Kevin? Okay, Kevin. Now, the people want this. The stream's gone off the rails as is. So just give us your brutally honest thoughts on the Mets, the GM, the DOI, all of it. Give us thoughts.
Yeah, might as well. All right, let's talk about it. First of all, Javi Baez booing the fans. Ridiculous. Like, who does the guy think he is? He's been a New York Met for what, 31 collective days, and 12 of those 31 days he spent on the injured list. He's not performing. He's not out there lacing up his cleats, putting a uniform on, grabbing a bat for this business. He's got the audacity to say that he's gonna boo the fans. Like, we pay your salary. That's the deal here. I buy your jerseys. I pay your salary. We buy the tickets, the hot dogs, and you play, and you get to live your dream and live your dream life. And I get to boo you when you suck. That's how it works here. You suck, I boo you. That's bottom line. You do good, I still boo you because that's what New York fans do. And that was just, I couldn't believe it. Like, if it was Michael Conforto, Jacob deGrom, Noah Syndergaard, somebody with equity that's been a Met for a long time, fine. And the fact that he's got Francisco Lindor hopping on the bandwagon, Lindor's out there booing people. Like, come on. I get it, you guys are best friends. And these are two of Puerto Rico's finest baseball players. And they're two of my favorite baseball players in the league. And it's hard for me to hate them, but they're making me hate them, both of them. Especially Lindor. Like, we're stuck with him for 10 years. Javi Baez is on his way to Chicago or LA, whatever team scoops him up. Maybe he'll go to the Yankees. Go ruin the Yankees, pal. You want to talk about pressure? That dude would not last 10 minutes on the Yankees. He would crumble. He would not be able to handle that. He wouldn't be able to handle it. He's too soft. So, yeah. Yeah, whatever Cohen said in that meeting, the locker room meeting, must have worked. Pretty much Cohen told them, look, I'm not afraid of you. You're not going to run this. Like, he probably told Lindor, I'll trade you, bro. I'll find a way to trade you. Like Steve Cohen has enough money where he could pay 50% of Lindor's $300 million salary just to get rid of him. So, yeah, that is what it is with that. As far as the GM getting a DUI, he's not even our GM. He's just a replacement. He's what do they call it? Interim GR. Yeah, I know the Smart Busters are Yankees fans. I've had conversations with them about baseball. It's fun talking baseball with them. They're real old school traditionalists like me, so that's cool. What the hell was I gonna say?
I need to just jump in here. Big shout out to my Diamondbacks who beat the Padres today. Get around it. 8-3, they got the W. The Diamondbacks, next season's revenge season. We're getting the title, pal. No doubt about it.
The Diamondbacks, pal.
Bro, Arizona has got a lit squad. Don't diss. Watch out next year. Watch out.
Apparently, he was coming home from Cohen's house. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, he's the interim GM. He's not going to be there long term. They just need a complete overhaul. Get rid of Sandy. Get rid of fucking Louis Rojas. Get rid of that bum. Get rid of him. Bring Carlos Beltran in to be the manager. Make him the GM for all I care. Make him give him whatever he wants. He wants $10 million. Give Carlos Beltran whatever to run the team. I don't care.
VWA, who are you a fan of, pal? Run us through that. But yeah, go on, Kevin. Keep going.
Bring in Theo Epstein. I hope they bring in Theo. That seems like the move. What is your opinion on Kemba Walker going to the Knicks, bro? Come on, $8 million for Kemba Walker, one of the best point guards in the NBA. Need I say any more? If it works, it works.
Kevin, he led such great teams like the 2011 Charlotte Bobcats. What an elite point guard.
For that money though, at $8 million, if it works, fine, that's great. Icing on the cake. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Considering LA, we're going to pay Schroeder $20 million a year. It's a steal, but yeah, all good.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, $8 million for Kemba Walker, like he's still an all-star point guard at the end of the day. and we already have a good team in place.
Celtics exponentially better than Bulls VW. Okay, bet. Celtics better at what? Having a racist fan base? Is that what?
Oh.
Bro, you'd have the LA Lakers come to Boston and get racially abused the whole 80s, bro. Ridiculous.
You had Mookie Betts, one of the best players in Boston Red Sox history, not be embraced by a quarter of the Red Sox fan base, bro. Because of the color of his skin, bro.
Raptors way better than Bulls. Not now, bro. Not now. It's
Raptors.
like the Raptors. It's Siakam and Van Vliet. Now the Bulls actually have a decent team for once. So
well, they drafted Scotty Barnes over Jalen Suggs, so they're done, pal.
Raptors down horrendous.
Not Jalen Suggs, Jalen Green, or was it Jalen? Yeah, Jalen Suggs.
Yeah. You love to see it. You love to see it. I mean, Kevin, watch out. Bulls 2021. Watch out. This team. Watch out, pal. Watch out.
The Bulls will be good.
Well, how good's good though? Like they're not going to be like a top couple seeds, but they'll be like
They'd be a 6 seed, 5 seed, maybe, probably a 5 seed realistically.
Yeah, probably above the Knicks somewhere, something like that. Yeah,
they'll be right in there with the tier with the Hawks, the Knicks, and the Celtics. You know, they'll all be in that same tier.
Yeah. God,
you look at your top 4 seeds. It's what? It's in the East. It's Brooklyn, Philly, Miami.
You reckon Philly?
And Milwaukee.
You reckon Philly with Ben Simmons not showing up at training camp?
Yeah, I mean they're gonna get Dame Lillard.
What is this inside scoop? Are you on the Portland Trailblazers recruiting a free agency team? Like, what?
That's just my hunch, pal. Like, if I was betting, if I'm a betting man, which I am, I may or may not recommend that you put. No, I would say I don't recommend that you put money on Damian Lillard because gambling is bad. So don't put any money on Damian Lillard winding up on the Sixers, pal.
Philadelphia made a mess of last year. Like they could have had James Harden for Ben Simmons. They said no. Like,
yeah, idiots.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they wanted picks, pal.
Bro, we want draft picks. We want to be like OKC, who have like 17 first-round draft picks in the next 6 years, bro.
Exactly. Yeah, Simmons. Yeah. I mean, Simmons is gone from Philly. They'll be better. Like it's addition by subtraction. Once you get rid of Ben Simmons, that team will be instantly better. You add Damian Lillard into the mix.
Kevin, I can't wait for like the second round or like whatever round of the playoffs this coming year. You've got like Game 6 of the Bulls and Knicks series. And you got LaVine hits a filthy setback game winner to send New York packing. Oh, I can't wait. It's gonna be amazing.
Imagine.
God, it's gonna be great. And you have Tom Thibodeau on the sideline, like breaking a coach's board. You're like Billy Donovan, like crying. Oh.
Yeah, here we go. Football, basketball starting. Yes, sir.
God, and what's happening with wrestling? Finn Balor's popping his nuts out, and you've got, I guess, Brock's back, which is good. Becky's there.
Yeah, Brock is being clickbaited, so the WWE could trick Fox into thinking that Becky Lynch is a draw.
Right up, BFB. Mitch will block him. Fam, why would you have Mitch Robinson guarding Zach LaVine? LaVine would just blow right by him.
Why not, pal?
Well, because it's not a matchup that makes sense. But anyway, all good. I mean, who would you put on LaVine from the Knicks? I guess you'd put on
RJ.
RJ, yeah.
Hey,
how's RJ's defense been coming along?
It's good. His defense is good. He's above average.
Yeah,
He's
probably better than LaVine, to be fair. Yeah.
He's a plus defender.
Yeah.
You know,
when Tom Thibodeau is locking the gym for practice, make sure they run 5.5 hours of defensive scrimmages. I hope we'll be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you put RJ on him. You have Mitchell Robinson guard the paint or Julius Randle guard the paint. Lock him up the best you can. But then you got DeRozan, who's also good with the ball. So that's going to be interesting. But I don't know. I have questions about how the Bulls are going to work. Because you got DeRozan and LaVine. They're basically the same player. When you boil it down, they're both like a dynamic offensive players that command the ball a lot. And they're pretty good playmakers.
Yeah.
But they don't play a lick of defense. They're not great passers. They're not great at setting up offenses for other people.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just curious how that dynamic is going to work. Like, I guess.
Yeah, that one will just be like almost like you rotate possessions as far as who's actually bringing it up and carrying the possession. But really, when it comes to defense, it's like.
But then you have Lonzo too.
Lonzo and Patrick Williams are your defenders. They're like your ones.
But Lonzo's going to be carrying the ball a lot too. You know.
True. Yeah. There'll be a lot of. I guess Donovan will have to pitch a lot of team to where you rotate it amongst the ball carriers, because you can see, I can picture this in March where you've got some like shoot interview after the game where like LaVine's like, I'm sick of playing DeMar DeRozan, you want to pass me the ball, something like that. So
I told you this. The plan is for the Bulls to let LaVine walk. That's why they signed DeRozan. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's like, well, that's the thing. Like LaVine was going to leave to like Sacramento like 2 and a bit years ago, but then they matched the offer. So
Yeah, I mean, I just think now, like, he's gonna want like 200 million. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think this is the same team that didn't want to pay Jimmy Butler. You know.
Is Levine at 200 million? But I guess in the current NBA probably, but I don't see that. Like,
Yeah,
as
I mean,
a
that's what he's gonna want. He's an all-star.
as a
25
40
point
plus million
scorer.
a year player, I don't love that. Like, he's like a 30 mil a year player in this current NBA. But
Yeah,
yeah.
let him play real good. Let him average 27, 27, 28, 29 points per game the first 4 months of the season, and then trade him. Might
Well,
as
really,
well.
the whole team just depends on how Donovan gets the defensive scheme set up. Because you mean, obviously, Lonzo and Patrick Williams are like god tier defenders, and then you've got like Caruso and Derek Jones who are like handy at it. It really depends on the buy-in from Levine and DeRozan. Really, that's
Yeah,
gonna be
and then you
major.
have Vucevic too, who doesn't play any defense.
My guy Vucevic is a beast in the paint, bro. He's a beast. Okay,
Yeah, he's good. I
bro,
always liked him.
Vucevic is just like he's like a poor man's like Jokic. Jokic with worse IQ, worse vision, worse everything, pretty much.
Yeah, essentially.
Mm.
Rondo going to the. Oh, here we go. Sean says Pac versus Andrade has been delayed to a Rampage show. What happened? Did Pac get stuck in the United Kingdom again?
Oh God, Jesus Christ! Tribal
DeRozan.
challenges Joe Biden. Tribal challenges Donald Trump. How about you shut up? How about that? What's your guys' thoughts on Goldberg versus Lashley at Crown Jewel? I'm under the impression they're doing Brock and Roman at Crown Jewel. I don't think.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
I'm
doing
sorry.
Gold. They're doing
I can't
Goldberg
read.
Lashley
Goldberg
too.
Lashley. Yeah. Nah. So yeah, Goldberg Lashley is definitely happening. No doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not a big fan of the story. You got Goldberg, babyface Goldberg is fighting for his son's honor after his son jumped Bobby Lashley first.
Hold
So
up, DST. DeRozan hasn't been much since 2018. Did you not watch one Spurs game or follow the Spurs last year? Did you not see how DeRozan played most of the year? Okay, right. Nice.
the women casino battle royals on the main show. So are they gonna have like Tay Conti punching Red Velvet on the buy-in?
Jesus Christ. Giannis is the GOAT, bro. I mean, okay, we'll give it 5 years. I mean, quite possibly, yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see when he gets eliminated in the conference semifinals by the Nets this year. We'll see what the talk is about him then.
Giannis is gonna lose to the Bulls, bro.
No, I mean to the Nets, bro. Giannis's Bucks will probably beat the Bulls in 5. But anyway, just
God, yeah. What was I saying? I forgot.
I don't have a clue. Well, sports saying, where do you see Simmons going? Probably
Sacramento.
Yes, yes. You can say Sacramento's like game-changing franchise star. Then you see, like, you have De'Aaron Fox shoot interviews talking about the coach sucks. He wants to leave.
Yeah, De'Aaron Fox is gone. He'll be in that trade.
God.
They just keep drafting point guards at Sacramento. I don't know what they're doing, pal.
Lakers aren't a super team. No, the current this year's Lakers. The only real comp for them is the 2012 Lakers as far as like experience and names. Because that team's got so many like names, but how it'll mesh, like I don't know, like it's like reports Lakers looking at DeAndre Jordan. I'm like, how does that fit their team? Like how? Like what? Where's DeAndre Jordan going to stand when LeBron's driving in? Like I don't know.
DeAndre Jordan will be on the bench. That's where he'll be. He'll be on. He's a culture guy. He's a guy that can hang out with Anthony Davis and show him some of the great nightclubs in LA.
True. I mean, Udonis Haslam still getting handsome, fat, juicy checks from Pat Riley to stand on the bench and clap. So,
yeah. Exactly. You know, and he shows all the rookies. He was probably showing Tyler Hero the best food places and clubs in Miami, pal.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, all good.
Andre Drummond is one of the worst players ever. Yeah, I hate Andre Drummond. He ruined my fantasy team a couple years ago.
Bro, Andre Drummond loves Instagram models, bro. He impregnated 2 of them on one day, apparently.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, that was like a joke in my school, just Andre Drummond and the Instagram models.
Congrats to him, man. He's a daddy twice in one day. Wow.
Well, I don't know. There was definitely multiple Instagram models involved in like the same time frame. AD loves injuries, bro. Yeah, AD is just
Tyler Hero's horrible. Don't say that where I'm from. You say Tyler Hero's horrible, you're gonna get jumped, pal.
Tyler Hero played great basketball for 6 weeks because of his hot girlfriend in the bubble, bro. Ridiculous.
Oh my god. I think Simmons would fit on the Warriors. He could just pass the ball to Curry. Yeah.
And what are your thoughts on the whole big deal? Well, this wasn't a big deal. It was like a Twitter eruption about a month ago over the Rachel Nichols and Jimmy Butler situation.
I think that's hilarious. That's the kind of content we need. I wonder who was guarding the door, bro, while Jimmy Butler was getting to know Rachel Nichols.
Bro, you got Dwayne Wade guarding the door as loud thumping could be heard in the room, bro.
Just think about it. Like they weren't men and women. It was like college, you know, like a segregated college. Men and women weren't allowed to be seen together in the same hotel. So who's guarding the door while Jimmy Butler and Rachel Nichols are conducting a private interview? You know,
Jimmy Butler emerges from the hotel room drenched in sweat. Like, bruh, come on now.
Bro,
Like loud thumping to be heard. Jimmy was apparently training hard, dribbling basketballs in the hotel room. Yeah, sure. I bet he was dribbling basketballs. Yeah, sure.
He was dribbling Rachel Nichols basketballs, pal.
Jesus. Okay.
So who's guarding the door? Let me think of somebody from the Miami Heat roster. Oh, you got Duncan Robinson and Andre Iguodala guarding the door for NBA and hotel officials. They're trying to make sure everyone's social distance, pal.
Yeah, Andre Iguodala stood at the door, acting as though he's going to get like a COVID test off Jimmy Butler. He's like waiting for Butler to pass under the door, and meanwhile you just hear like thunderous thumping in the hotel room.
Do you think Rachel Nichols has good work rate? Do you think she could make it in this business, pal?
Her work rate's good enough to get her fired from ESPN. So I mean, that's just some kind of work rate.
Well, she got fired for other things, not.
I mean, true. We won't go there.
She got fired. She didn't get fired for having a one-on-one basketball game to 21 with Jimmy Butler.
Yep. Yeah, they're trying to dunk on the bed frame in the hotel room.
I bet Jimmy Butler was showing her all his crossovers and other moves that he can do on the court, pal.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, he's good composure on the ball. But yeah, just generally if you watch their interviews, like those interviews from the bubble, it's ridiculous. It's like it's so clear things were happening in the hotel room with Andre Iguodala guarding the door. It's so obvious, but
oh god. Prince of the Ring says thoughts on Afghanistan.
No, we're not even gonna don't know. No, don't even venture there. There's no point.
The only thing I'll say is that's like, I feel like that's one of the most important political stories of the last of the 2000s, from 2000, the last 21 years. That's like a top 10 important story in politics, and it's not getting half the coverage that you think it would. If there was if a certain president was still in office that was in office 4 years ago, and he did what our current president did, it would have got a million times more coverage. So do with that what you will. That's all I'll say.
Yes. Oof. Do you think the Clippers are better without Kawhi? Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Kawhi has a culture of clock in, clock out, lack of care, pal. The Clippers without him were exponentially better, pal.
Can I say this real quick about Kawhi? I had my brother was like, oh, watch, Kawhi's gonna go to Miami. He's friends with Jimmy Butler. I was like, bro, if Pat Riley wouldn't stop like the Heat culture for LeBron James, why would he let Kawhi Leonard fly from like I don't even know, like come from California to Florida every day for practice, pal? Like it just wouldn't happen. That anyone I thought Kawhi was going to Miami, ridiculous. But
Jimmy Butler and Rachel. Oh god, Jimmy Butler and Rachel down bad. Yeah. Oh good. Yeah, go on, Kevin. Go on.
I do think that they'll be fine. I do think they're better with Kawhi. Kawhi's the best player.
Kawhi was better on the Raptors. Facts. You saw the thing where it was like in that series with the Sixers and the Raptors in 2019. When the Sixers went up 2-1, and B in the post-game press conference was like, we'd hate to go up 3-1. The Warriors choked a lead 2 years ago, and then they proceeded to lose the series. That was pretty funny.
That's how it goes, pal.
That's classic. Jesus Christ. Yeah, the Heat have a great culture, bro. Yeah, just ask Rachel Nichols about the culture.
Yeah, Rachel Nichols loves the Heat culture, pal.
Yeah. Yeah, Butler was sweating profusely. They must have not had like the AC on in that hotel room or something. If he was profusely sweating, dripping in sweat as he left the hotel room.
Well, he was dribbling basketballs.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, right.
Yeah, he was practicing for his for the game.
But like in that situation, when the supposed bubble security guard knocks on the door for the noise complaint because of what's happening, and he like opens it up, and Jimmy Butler comes out drenched in sweat. Where's Rachel Nichols in that situation? Like. I don't know.
Or Rachel Nichols is out shooting on ESPN's culture off the record, pal, and being recorded without her knowledge.
Jesus Christ. Now she's doing like a Shield hidden camera segment, like, from Butler's hotel room, just analyzing an NBA game.
Yeah, I want to see a 30 for 30 on the bubble. We need that. I need to know the stories behind Jimmy Butler's $20 coffee cups, pal.
But you definitely got Rachel Nichols discounts on those coffees. She got free
coffee. She got free coffee.
And bit more than just free coffee. But
can I ask you, what are your thoughts on Rachel Nichols getting fired from ESPN?
The jump was good while it lasted. I think the whole situation it's caused this.
I think it's ridiculous that she got fired for it. Honestly, it's ridiculous. ESPN knew about it for like a year. They knew about her comments, and they did nothing.
Yeah.
And
I wonder if Jimmy Butler's friends with Triple X Woods. Okay, shut up, JB. Kidding. But yeah, go on, Kevin. Go on.
Yeah, and then like what the story leaks, and she has legitimate legal gripe against the person that recorded her without her knowledge. The story comes out in the New York Times, New York Post, or whatever, and then she's gone like a week later, or she's removed from the jump like a week later when it's in her contract. So they breached her contract, and then they just got rid of her completely. Like I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Destroy Base B, you guys are still on. No, we're off. We're literally just off. No.
Yeah. This is an illusion.
Yeah, this is a fake Matrix. It's a Matrix of Finn Balor is the best wrestler in the world, and yeah, there's no point.
I'm about to turn on Dynamite, see what's going on in the land of AEW.
Kevin, light the fuse, break the rules, Dynamite.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch Cody return and confront Malachi Black after Malachi Black threatens to Black Mass Cody's baby.
ESPN are woke, bro. That's why they fired Paul Pierce for having a party with strippers, bro.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to see Paul Pierce's next move.
God. I can't wait to see the 30 for 30 on Paul Pierce. And he's going on about how, like, the things he was doing at a party, the day before he had the jump at 6 a.m., the things he got up to.
Jeez. Paul Pierce is the GOAT. Oh, we got PNP and FTR kicking off the show. I thought FTR had to retire because one half was severely injured.
No. Ishan, Finn going to beat Roman and then Brock for the work rate, pal. If Finn Balor beats Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, the rant on my channel will get me terminated from the platform.
I think you'd probably have a heart attack. That would be a million times worse than when The Miz beat Drew McIntyre. Like,
well, that was a cash-in after Black Brock Lesnar destroyed him, and then Miz just cashed in and hit a skull-crushing finale. This, if Fergal dethrones the Tribal Chief and then beats Brock, you'd be able to hear me from Florida. Like, it'd be that bad.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, I was saying from the sense of, like, I almost died recording my review of Elimination Chamber 2021. I think you would probably die reviewing Finn Balor beating Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns.
It was just how we were wishing Jay Rance, like, we were wishing Daniel Bryan won the WrestleMania main event just to see Jay's reaction.
Yeah.
Because you'd have Jay Rance legitimately like smashing keyboards, like breaking a monitor, like screaming. Yeah, like that Jay Rance SmackDown review where Kevin Owens got input into the Rumble match for Roman. If you haven't seen that in the chat, where Jay Rance says the N-word, I think it's 14 times in the first 30 seconds. That one's something. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. So yeah, if Finn Balor beats Brock Lesnar or beats Roman Reigns for the Universal title, that'll be the end of you, pal.
Yeah, you'll have I'll have Finn Balor stands on Twitter attacking me. I'll be like, well, F you, he's terrible. Like, it'll get all toxic. I'll just be like, because these people be like, well, what's wrong with Finn? He deserves this. I'm like, no, he doesn't. For what? It'll be ridiculous.
Oh, Santana making a tribute to Eddie Guerrero, breaking out of the Three Amigos. That's beautiful. Okay. Eddie.
Red Nut BFB. Max Kellerman is off first take. Yeah.
Oh, he's feeling froggy cold.
Oh, okay. Oh,
sorry.
wow.
Sorry, don't mind me. He's feeling froggy. Oh, God. That was, oof. Santana, don't do the frog splash anymore, please, pal. Oof.
AW botches.
It wasn't a botch. It just was not it was not Eddie Guerrero or RVD hitting a frog splash.
It was not a Sasha Banks 5-star frog splash, pal.
I'll just leave it at that, yeah. Sasha Banks objectively has the best frog splash of all time.
God. Bro, Sasha Banks is objectively well, mainstream. She has a role as a supporting actor in a show that some people watch.
There you go. Yeah. Yep. I love P&P. Yes, I do. Pride and Powerful. Those are my guys, pal. They're from the streets of Rancho Cucamonga.
Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Max Kellerman is off of First Take. Yes, he is. Stephen A. Smith got him fired, bro.
Elite Heat is the most wild show. Yeah, just a heads up. I've got about 5 minutes. I have to go to work. So, good fun. Get your ridiculousness in the chat out now while you can. Think of the most wild things you can say, and you get my live, brutally honest reactions. Yeah.
Yes, sir. This is the end of the. I guess we're here to the end of the stream, pal.
Yep. As Daniel Bryan's ROH theme song says, it's the final countdown.
It's the final countdown.
OMG, bro. Imagine when this effing theme song hits it all out. OMFing-G. God.
Any thoughts on Donda? Like Kanye's album?
Oh, I get around it highly. I rate the fact there's no like cussing in it. I think just generally, it's different. It stands out. Just like everything Kanye does, really.
It's objectively good.
I think he's just one of the greatest of our time. Obviously, he's a creative mastermind. That's how I describe it.
Do you think he'd be like the Moses if there was a modern day Bible created?
Oh God, I mean, I think Pav would be honestly, but yeah, just generally. What's your favorite song? I can't stop playing Jail, but that's just me.
I like Hurricane. That's probably my go-to.
Yeah. What do you think in chat, guys? Favorite song is back. Yeah, B agrees.
It's Donda, bro.
Kevin, did you hear Soulja Boy verse? Walk us through this. Answer this. Did you hear the verse?
I did. Yes, I did. It was his verse. I understand 100% why Kanye did not add that to the album. I get it 100%.
Yeah.
That verse was horrible. Have you heard it?
Unfortunately. But yeah, I love how everything on the album, there's like actual purpose to it, you know? It's not like mumble rap trash like a lot of general kind of music is.
Ironically, Playboy Cardi is on 2 songs.
That's true. But for the most part, generally, it's pretty good. I like the fact that he opens it with Donda Chan, which is just, supposed to mirror the heartbeat of his, mother when she was like passing. That's like, it's a thoughtful touch from Kanye. I get around it.
Absolutely. I thought he did his mom right. Yeah, Jesus is Lord is a really good song for sure. I like Off the Grid too. Speaking of Playboy Cardi, that's probably like one of my other favorites on there.
Kevin, that's great and all, but we need to bring this matter to attention, okay? Just so you know, LeBron James plays basketball. Just so you know.
LeBron James, he plays basketball.
LeBron James plays basketball.
Playboy Cardi is horrible, bro. Yeah, Playboy Cardi is
Playboy Cardi's one thing, but when you have Cardi B at SummerSlam singing up, then it's up. That's even worse, bro.
Imagine Playboy Cardi out there mumble rapping in front of a SummerSlam crowd.
Then our viewers have gone up since we started talking about Kanye West. So let's just continue. Let's become a Kanye West.
Who's a bigger draw, Kanye or Pav?
Oh, I think about the same based on our numbers.
Pav is a legitimate A-list celebrity, bro.
When it's up, then 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 it's up.
So yeah, go ahead, continue on. Give us more on Donda, pal.
I mean, I don't even know. Like, I think generally across the board, it's a good listen. If you haven't heard it, it's worth a listen. It's a bit lengthy, which was, I guess, good. It's more content for everyone. So
there's a lot of songs you can cut out. I think you could just cut out at least 10 of those songs, and it would be a pretty still enjoyable album.
It'll just polish the album a bit, really.
Well, whose verse was better on Jail? The Baby or Jay-Z?
Oh, yep. I don't even know. I just like the song. I think the song just it works well all around. I don't really have like, this one's clearly better. I don't know. What do you think?
I like the Babies more just because of the flow. Like Jay-Z lyrically is always A+, 10 out of 10. But I just thought he didn't flow well on that beat. I don't know why. His flow wasn't it. I thought the Baby flowed better.
Okay, I see it. That makes sense, bro. I get it.
Oh, Pride and Powerful got the win, pal. They better be next in line to challenge for the AEW Tag Team titles, pal.
Ishan, thoughts on Eminem? Goat. That's my thoughts.
Eminem, he's okay. I like some of his songs. I can probably there's probably like 10 songs on my phone by Eminem. And none of them are new. I don't listen to his new stuff at all. Like his collabs with like what's his name? Ed Sheeran and like Katy Perry and stuff like that. I don't listen to any of that crap.
Really? Yeah. I mean, well, because his old songs are just like, I mean, they go to a point where literally, they're like worldwide, they're mainstream songs, bro. I mean, the current stuff not as much, but
yeah. Who are you watching AEW by any chance?
No chance in hell. What's happening?
Someone tell me who are these jobbers that are on the screen right now? Somebody in the chat, let me know.
Well, Kevin, if you'd actually be a good wrestling fan and watch AEW Dark Elevation featuring an hour and a half of good matches, you know exactly who they were. So shut up.
Brian says turn on AEW, bro.
Are you guys going to listen to Drake or to the Drake album? Yeah, for sure.
Ooh, we get another CM Punk interview with Tony Schiavone next. Ooh.
Kevin, this is going to run into the ground quicker than Tony and Schiavone and Sting. Like, they're just going to do this every week. Like,
yeah, what is he going to say this week? Oh, Anthony Ogogo was a great wrestler. He had a great match with Cody.
Bro, Darby Allin plays basketball.
But yeah, Certified Lover Boy, I'm going to be listening to that as well. It's Drake, bro. Who doesn't listen to Drake? If you want to get girls, listen to Drake, pal.
Yep. I've got the hotline bling, pal.
Yeah, and we need that you need a controller.
Yep. Kevin, I go right foot up, left foot slide, left foot up, right foot slide. Basically, I'm saying either way, I'm about to slide A.
Yeah, you gotta do the Tootsie Shuffle, bro. Or was it Tootsie Slide? There you go.
I'm sorry, what?
What?
Tootsie Shuffle?
Yeah, I don't know where
you're supposed to be the cultured one here. I'm the Australian white boy.
I confused it with Uzi's song, the Feudal Shuffle.
Kevin, I'm the white boy Australian out of us two, and you're the one from Florida who has a night waifu up till 4 a.m. every day with cocaine. Like, that's you. I'm just...
Yes, I'm the Puerto Rican guy that knows all the spots in Miami.
Yep.
Hey, we can talk about Latino music if you guys want to talk about that. We can talk about that if you want.
God.
Talk about Bad Bunny's new song with Aventura, bro.
Jesus Christ. Oh, Bad Bunny. Who? I've never heard of that, but I have New Japan World and get off the Tanahashi matches every day.
Corey Graves is more famous than Bad Bunny.
Mm.
You remember that guy in my comment section on a video that told me Corey Graves is more famous than Bad Bunny?
That might be, I know it's cool to say worst take of 20. That is quite literally the worst take of 2021. There's nothing worse.
This is an objective A-list celebrity, bro.
Bro, you had Triple H give Bad Bunny a WWE microphone, and Bad Bunny rode his bus off into the sunset and went on tour, bro. Ridiculous.
Bad Bunny told The Miz he'll break his effing face in Spanish, bro, and made Damian Priest crack a smile, bro, and break character.
Red Love BFB. Corey Graves loves golden showers. Wait, what? Oh, sorry. Cut. Yep, all good.
Our guy Destroyer BHB on Twitter said that Brad Maddox is a safe worker. He's never injured anyone.
That's true. Same can't be said about some people.
I tweeted the other day saying that Nia Jax is the most unsafe wrestler I've ever seen, and somebody broke it down into a top 5 list of the most unsafe wrestlers. They said Goldberg, Nia Jax, Seth Rollins, and I forgot who the other one was. But who do you think is the most unsafe wrestler, pal?
I mean, it would have to be Nia because the amount of incidents where things have happened. Goldberg being unsafe. I mean, okay, he kicked Bret Hart once. Okay.
He almost killed Undertaker. Oh, here comes Punk.
Oh, that's the point. I forgot that one. Yeah, that was shocking. I mean, they murdered Mark Calloway in the middle of the ring. Seth is unsafe. Okay, rightio. Interesting.
Yeah, Seth unsafe. I don't know about that one, bro.
Oh no, they're trying to Rhodes the top commercial. Ricky Starks in it. Oh, that's good.
Oh, here we go. We got my boy Punk is here, pal. He's got his glove logo.
Jesus
His
Christ.
taped fist logo, pal, not gloves. Sports fan says, "What is the worst wrestling take you have ever heard?" That is a loaded question.
That is
Probably for me, the person that said, "There's two." The person that said Eddie Guerrero was an A+ player, and then someone also told me that Andrade is objectively better than Eddie Guerrero.
the Andrade one is the worst one. The Eddie Guerrero one you can make a valid argument for. The other one, that Andrade one's horrible. That is terrible.
Yeah, that's god awful.
That's just disgusting.
Anybody know where AEW is at? What city they're in?
I know, but I've literally got to go now. So yeah, fun stream. I'm a dip. If you want to stay along as Kevin screams about AEW Dynamite.
I might just stay on here for a little bit, watch AEW. I gotta go call my wife, so probably not. So that's gonna be the end of the stream.
I got to go off and be an employee for the government. So yeah, all good. Have fun, everyone. Enjoy watching AEW Dynamite with your CM Punk plushies. And yeah, there you go.
All right, pals.
Yeah, we just cracked 3 hours and 34 minutes, pal. Jesus.